ever recorded. And today, we're out in Motor City, USA. It's time for some action. Jackson, let's go.
Well, it's definitely time for Jackson. The action part, I don't know.
James,
Yeah.
mellow out.
None of our names, I tried to think of one that was as cool as Action Jackson, but the best I could get was Barrel of Ferals. That's it. That's it.
That
Because
sounds like a terrible
a
game.
Smatala of Matala, that's not
Okay.
as good.
Ryan Ryan.
Yeah.
Something.
Go with the Flying Ryans.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's
that
pretty
makes it
good.
sound
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a trapeze duo.
Right.
What's wrong with that? In
I would
fact,
ask Robin.
coming up on Patreon this summer, Ryan Matala and Ryan Farrell debut their trapeze act live on Patreon. So
That's
we don't
only
get that.
Yes.
Okay, well, we'll get to that.
But before, we are missing one thing at this table,
What's that?
and it is a mid woman to take her top off.
A mid. Oh, jeez. Shots fired.
Whoa, already? We're already to that?
Prime Sharon Stone is in this movie. We mean we need a mid woman
That's not
to
who
take.
I'm complaining
All right.
about.
All right, fine. We'll get to it. Welcome.
But
in,
she's not. I mean,
everybody.
I would
Take
say
it
a
or leave it.
young Sharon Stone.
I'd
Yeah.
say Sharon Stone's take it or leave it.
I think she got a little better with age.
All right, look. You are popping off, and I love it. Keep that energy. But I haven't even introduced. No one even knows that Dave is here yet. I mean, I already said Farrell and Mattel. Hello, Ryan. Hello, Ryan.
Hi, Dave.
Hello. Hi. Hey,
Dave's here.
Dave's here too.
Everybody.
Dave is here, man.
Dave is here, man.
All right.
Yep.
Seriously. Welcome, everybody. It's Action Jackson. I'm excited. This was the winner of our Patreon poll. We had a 80s ass kicking cops.
Boo.
Wait, what are you
Stuck with the
what are you
Patreon again.
Booing?
You know what I'm booing.
What are you booing?
I campaigned hard for Dead Heat, and I had to watch this. And it's
Yeah.
a sick joke, kind of.
It took a second. I'm like, you almost.
Yeah, I almost got the people there, but
Yeah.
you all failed. And now I even had a plan to like watch Dead Heat and compared this movie to it the whole time. But I was like, nope, I'm gonna watch this. And
Wouldn't it have been worse if you had campaigned hard and it came in like fifth, then that you really know that no one cares about your opinion?
I don't know if people do anyway, but I do hope that eventually like someone out there in internet land will get Dead Heat on this show.
All right. Well, it
but
can
it's on
happen.
the list, right?
It is
It'll
on the list.
happen.
Every
Yeah.
month
Yeah.
it has a chance to
It'll
just
happen.
randomly happen too, right?
Yeah.
How far
And-
off was it?
It was I think it was. I don't think it was that close. It was
No, it was,
decisive.
yeah, it
for
was
Action
pretty,
Jackson.
Yeah.
So that's what we're here to talk about today, and welcome everybody in.
Why do you guys act like this is like a morgue then, or like a mortuary service? You're like, oh, we have to talk about Action Jackson.
Yeah,
I think he was just really excited.
So
I
we're
was
here
really excited
today.
about Dead Heat. I didn't even know it existed, and then I saw the trailer, and I was excited about Action Jackson, and still am. But then I saw Dead Heat and was like,
right. Because I think I remember your reaction to the Action Jackson trailer was "Sign me up." Right.
Yep.
I mean, you
Yep.
gave the.
I was ready for it.
aggressive
I'm
thumbs
ready
up
for
on
it.
that one.
It was
Yeah,
still
sure.
great.
All right.
It was just
Perfect.
Dead Heat was.
Wasn't a zombie cop duo.
Nope.
Right.
I didn't see the Dead Heat trailer, so
Yeah.
I
Do
came in
yourself a
fresh.
favor.
Yeah.
So
Joe
I'm glad I
Piscopo teams up with a zombie cop, and they, got to stop the bad guys.
Yeah,
Why are we doing this movie?
Well, look, for those of you who have never listened before, here's what you're in for. We're going to get through the vitals here right quick. Who wrote it, directed it, all the scores, why it's on this movie, because people always ask why it's on this movie, why it's on this show, because people always ask me that question. What are you doing talking about Action Jackson? It's a bad movie. It's the best movie of all time. I love Action Jackson. I named my kid Action. Right? Okay. So before we get into all that, we'll explain it to you. And then we're going to go scene by scene through the movie. And then an awards section, which includes a brand new award for the first time ever that I've not told anybody about in advance.
Yay.
Oh,
So
good.
this will be exciting.
Did you make
I
it
can't
specifically for this movie?
No, it will be ongoing now from this movie going forward.
Gotcha.
So you had it before you watched this movie.
No, I watched the movie, and then literally this morning I was like, I'm going to solve the Steve James Unsung Hero Award problem, because that's the one that no one, I get messages all the time about like no one votes on it correctly. I get annoyed, other people. So I fixed the problem. When we get to the award section, we'll dive more into that.
I can't
But
wait.
I'm so happy you're fixing that.
Yes.
This is a big day.
It is a huge day. So
not
the Action
wait.
Jackson episode, whether it's good or bad, will at least be a moment in BMR history.
Right.
Because
So
it's
what
gonna
we're
be
gonna do for you who haven't seen this before?
Yeah.
we're gonna watch the whole movie.
That's right.
And then we're gonna talk about it.
All right, Action Jackson. Here's where
There he is.
the Human Movie Database gets his moment to shine because it was directed by Craig R. Baxley, someone that I've never heard of, but I'm almost certain Ryan can tell me something about him.
Yeah, that guy.
Do you not know
Alright.
anything about him?
This was his first movie.
It was his first.
This was his
movie.
first. Okay, so Craig R. Baxley. He was like a stunt guy and a second unit director. I'm pretty sure he did like the second unit action stuff for Predator,
Yep.
things like that. Yeah. Okay.
And here he gets his shot.
Then here he gets his shot to make his feature film debut. And you know what? He really didn't do anything after this except for TV and stuff like that.
Right, but you can tell that he worked in 80s action because
Yes.
half the cast of Lethal Weapon, half the cast of Die Hard, and half the cast of Predator
Are all in this movie.
Yeah.
I wasn't mad at it. Not gonna lie.
No, but
It felt like they got done with Predator and said, "Hey guys, hey, come on
Wanna
over
stick
here.
around?
That is what I mean.
Arnold's
stick
got to
around.
go, but could you guys stop over here and make this movie with us?"
I think what happened is Carl probably asked Arnold, and he said, "No, thank you." That's right. He's
I've
like,
had enough.
I'm actually going to be the star of this, Arnold. Oh, I'm busy that
Yeah.
weekend, right?
You
Like,
son of a
Oh, you son. Right. If only. Guess we'll get Craig T. Nelson
yeah,
then.
right.
Right.
Movie was written by Robert Renault, starring, as I said, Carl Weathers, Craig T. Nelson, and which is Coach for those of you who don't remember the 90s TV show, and he's been Mr. Incredible and all kinds of things. And the dad in Poltergeist,
Yes.
you moved the headstones, but you didn't move the bodies. It's one of my favorite lines in any horror movie ever because he goes so hard when he says it.
Yeah.
But Vanity making her first appearance on the show since Last Dragon, which we did a million years ago, like in the 20s, I think, in our first 20-something episode.
Wow.
We covered Last Dragon, which was the last time Vanity was here. And then Sharon Stone, we've seen as recently as the Total Recall episode on GMR.
That's Halle Berry.
Yeah, right. Or the other Sharon Stone in Flintstones. We covered that one as well. We
Yabba
also got-
dabba don't.
That's right. Tom Wilson, Biff himself, Bill Duke, like I said, also in here, and a slew. And as we go through, we'll talk about all the people that pop up in this. But here's how it qualifies. It qualifies on 2. It only has to check 1 box, but it checks a couple. It's a under 6 on IMDb. The movie currently sits at a 5.6 on IMDb, which is good enough for it to qualify on its own. But then when you head over here to Rotten Tomatoes, guys, it checks every box. 19% critic score and a 35% audience score. Only 35% of the audience said they liked this movie.
And that is with 10,000 plus ratings.
Yeah.
That's not gonna cut it.
So
Man.
I had the sense that this was some kind of cult classic. I expected
So did I.
a high audience rating, but
Yep.
that's bad, man. That's so bad.
Yeah. Did. Look what you did, guys.
Look what you
from
did.
Predator.
Come on.
That is all of those mayonnaise eaters that love Rotten Tomatoes.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Wait,
Well, get my jar of mayonnaise, Ryan.
I'm excited to dive into this with you guys. And before we do, there's all kinds of ways you can connect with the show. But those of you who've been listening for the last couple weeks know that we are in the middle, you guys, of our big Patreon push. And so we've been doing this show for 4 years. The Patreon, those guys have been supporting the show since before, gosh, we were even doing anywhere close to the numbers we're doing now. As I've said before, over 120,000 downloads a month the show gets right now, which is awesome. But only about 500 people are supporting us on Patreon, and we appreciate every one of those. But we're trying to get to 1,000 by May 19th. We're just going to do this once a year. We're going to do a big push for our Patreon. But we're also giving some cool stuff away. We're going to make a movie that we're going to release, a short film, 30 minutes, the Wisconsin Baywatch. We haven't named it yet. I don't think we can technically call it that because we don't own the rights. But we're going to write and film a thing. We are going to do a 12-person, every host from BMR on one episode of Surf Ninja. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're doing a BMR photo calendar shoot that we're going to give away to some patrons as well.
Yep.
So it's really, Dude, what are you doing?
That's just the teaser.
That, okay.
I
For
call
those of you-
April and I want to be in the shower.
All right, Dave is in the shower in April. There you go. What else would you ever want? $3 is our lowest tier. You can hop in at, and you get good movies rule.
And you get to see me in an April shower.
Look, just think 12 white dudes in a calendar.
There's a couple
Yeah.
girls.
Sell it.
One of them's your wife. We're gonna put your wife in a calendar. You cool with that?
I'm sure she's excited.
All right. Are you?
She's excited.
She's gonna do like January and have all of the clothes on.
She'll be in February in a snowsuit.
Give her December in the ugly Christmas sweater. She'll be fine.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yes.
We'll just put Clint in a snowmobile suit with a helmet and be like,
Yeah.
"This is her."
I know some people don't
He'll
love.
find a way to hang one of his boobs out.
He will.
Yeah.
I promised everybody he would. I know people. It's not their favorite when shows and things like that ask for Patreon membership, but I've promised before. I will continue to promise. Bad Movies Rule. The main show here will always be free, but I want to make a deal with everybody. We want to grow the show. There's all kinds of huge plans we've got to do more stuff for you guys. In order to do that, we do need your support. I'll make this deal with you. If you come and support us on Patreon, I promise to do everything in my power to work tirelessly to not only make BMR, the free show, better, but to make every dollar that you spend on BMR worth every cent that you do give us by making just more incredible content on there as well. So if you do that deal with me, patreon.com/bad movies rule. It's the last time we'll bring it up on this show, but hopefully by May 19th, we'll be crossing that finish line and have all kinds of extra bonuses for you guys. Cool?
Awesome.
All right.
Neat.
$3 a month.
All
You
right.
can't even get a soda for $3 anymore.
That's what I'm saying, guys.
Just skip it for one day. That's it. Like I said, make your coffee at home 1 day a week.
all right. Right
Skip
after these
that.
messages, we'll be right back. All right, guys.
After these messages.
We'll be right back. Now you know how old we are.
I don't know what that is.
We're
so.
that old.
Oh,
Exactly.
look how cute he is. Look at him. He's growing a
Is this like
beard and
a,
everything.
I listened to radio and baseball on the radio when I was growing up kind of thing?
Yeah.
No.
These guys are like
It's a little
1950s, right?
after that. Like, I didn't have a decoder ring for my Ovaltine or anything.
Nah, dude.
Slightly after that.
A little bit.
Ovaltine.
It's a crummy commercial.
Drink your Ovaltine.
All right. Speaking of commercializing this movie, as I said, they cast everybody from every action movie. And so the movie opens. We're in Detroit. And it opens with the guy dictating a letter to his assistant. And it's, of course, two people from Lethal Weapon. Well, the gal is in every 80s cop movie, I think, that's ever. But she was in
I was
Die
going to
Hard.
say, she's in Die Hard. She's in Kindergarten Cop.
Yep. She's in Goonies. She's the
in
mom in Goonies.
Goonies.
Yeah.
She's the shrink in
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon, she's the
trying to
shrink.
get through to Riggs, right?
Yep.
Wasn't she in Monster Squad too?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
she was the mom in
I
Monster
think she's
Squad.
the mom in
too,
Monster
right?
Squad. Right.
Yeah.
So as soon as every time I see her, I'm just like, the 80s. Like I think once
Because she was in
1990
every movie.
Right. And once 1990 came, they're like, I'm sorry, you can't work anymore. Like,
I think that after the first minute of this movie, she didn't want to work in movies anymore.
That's what it was.
the other guy was from Lethal Weapon. He was the dude that when Gary Busey was lighting his arm, they were trying to do a deal with that guy. And he's like, all right, man, put it out. Jeez, you're like,
Yeah.
you guys are crazy.
Edo Ross.
Edo Ross.
Once
yeah.
again, another guy who's just in a bunch of 80s stuff.
You want somebody to be sweaty and look cracked out, and like that's the guy that you
That's
want.
Edo
Two
Ross.
of them. The guy on
Yes.
the boat and that guy looked exactly the same. I didn't even know that they had a different actor. I said, you have a twin that was also in the Union?
Awesome. He's dictating this note about a colleague that died, and this will be a running theme throughout the movie, right? And he's trying to hit on her, and he does
Kind of, sort of.
whatever you do. What you do when you want to get a girl to stick around. Like, hold on, there's boxing on.
Check out this.
Chicks
What,
like
you don't like violence?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be worried if her answer was, no, nothing gets me hotter than watching people punch each other?
Gonna make you feel like you're right at home in your trailer.
Seriously.
All right.
But before they can get to Pound Town, unfortunately, the Ninja Squad.
You think he had a chance?
I think that's where it
You
was
think
trending.
he had a chance?
I think that she was thinking about it before
Yes.
she got absolutely smoked through that window. I laughed so hard when this guy busts through the window. She screams and he just kapoppy right through the dang. It's not bad enough. Kills her in an instant
Yes.
through a window. It was fantastic.
Punched her to death.
Yes.
Wasn't he-
One
she was
One punch.
Yeah.
She was dead before she hit the glass.
Frickin-
For sure. She screamed, punch, dead through the window. That was it. Wasn't Goonies fun? Because we're dead.
There's more broken glass in this first 2 minutes. I mean, they come through the glass. There's for some reason a giant glass window in his kitchen that she goes through. Then he's looking around there. I call them the Ninja Squad because they vanish.
Right.
And then, John Bon Jovi Ninja crashes through the glass.
Oh, his hair.
That's what I'm saying.
The sugar glass
But this
budget must
guy,
have been high.
because he grabs a gun, and this is once again back in like the 80s where you grab a gun and you're and everything you shoot explodes.
Right. Yep, that was nuts.
He's shooting his desk. It is exploding into
was an
pieces.
explosion gun.
He shoots his fish tank. I don't know if he shot his fish
He took
tank.
out all the vases, all the pictures.
All the-
the desk got pissed when the vases got shot because the desk starts to come
Yeah,
at him.
it starts to come at him. I was like, wait,
Yes.
are there ghosts in this? And he's like, Jesus, and starts shooting the desk, and it explodes. And then he had 48,000 bullets in that gun.
Man.
Yeah.
It was an intense couple
And they were
minutes.
all incendiary rounds.
I was
Yep.
that guy. I counted 17 shots without reloading.
Okay, you know
I
what?
thought I had
you could,
21.
You could get 15 in that weapon, so it's
You
all good.
cannot get
Not with the-
17.
You could get 15.
The magazine would be longer, though,
You
wouldn't
get
it?
15. No,
No, it was a round chamber.
Oh.
Yeah.
no. It was a Beretta. It was a 9
Yeah, it was a
millimeter.
9
Regardless.
This
He
isn't the
shot too
gun that
many
had the
All right,
base.
you know what? This isn't the.
Welcome to Guns and Ammo podcast.
Here we go. Yeah, you had to be that guy, James.
Well, I'm sorry.
He fired
it's
17 shots, and that only holds 1 in the pipe and 15 in the clip. So actually,
I was fine until he fired that last shot, and then I said, this is bull.
This is one too many.
14, 15, 16. Okay, fine. 17. Damn it.
This movie's fake.
So look, after he kills the desk that's trying to attack him for killing his friends, the vase, that's when John Bon Jovi Ninja comes through the ceiling, right?
Yep.
And
He's the one who has the other gun.
yes. Karates him through the door, okay? And then freaking Huey Lewis is on the other side of the door
Yep.
to like it.
When he is standing or comes around that corner and all 4 of those guys are at the end of the hall backlit like that, I was fully expecting them to be like, I see a little silhouette of a man. Scalaboo, scalaboo. And thunderbolts and lightning, bagoosh. And then the fakest gun that has ever been built by a prop guy. It was
Oh, the grenade
clearly a
launcher?
bunch of like PVC
Yes.
pipe.
The grenade launcher was rough.
Oh, I liked that gun though.
it's too bad that
thought it
it's
was
real.
it was cool.
That
was
was a
cool.
real gun.
Yes, it's a real gun.
No.
Bro.
It's an Arwin 37 millimeter. It was designed by the British Army.
I did like Butterfly Knife
Really?
Guy. So,
Yes.
So Brian Libby, who we last saw as the bad guy in Silent Rage.
Saw
right?
him as a sergeant and platoon leader,
Right.
Who's got the best opening of a war movie ever.
Yes. And so this is his third time on the show.
Yes.
And he goes, does that butterfly
he's
knife
butterfly
thing?
You
knife
gotta
guy.
flip it. You gotta flip it around. You can't just
Brian
have a
won't
butterfly knife.
Brian
and then-
Butterfly knife.
It won't work
He had
if
a
you
lot
just
of
throw
them
it.
too.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Throws a pin. He does a Jake Busey and Starship Troopers to him, like right
Yep.
to the wall, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Yeah. Pins his hand right to the door.
So does he just have like he goes to the butterfly knife store every week and he's just like, I need 15
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what it is.
He buys
Right after he
gross
goes to the
loads
Zippo
from
store.
Amazon.
When they're on the roof,
And
getting
that's
ready
the only time he speaks throughout the entire week.
Yes.
When they're on the roof getting ready to rappel through the glass, he's like, how many should I bring? He's got his whole briefcase up on the roof. It's like, what do you think? Is this a 4 butter knife? A 4 butter
butterfly knife job?
Butterfly knife job?
No.
Bro, I think you probably just need one. You know what? I'm bringing 2.
You know what
Well, I'm bringing 17 rounds for my gun, so you should probably bring 17 butterfly knives.
Okay. Just want to make sure this goes right.
Oh, dude.
I'm going to wait until I got a chance to do the hand thing.
Yes.
Pin his hand.
Exactly.
Can't throw it if I don't do the hand
Right?
thing.
gotta
You
do-
can never throw it. You can't do anything with a butterfly knife unless you do the hand thing.
This was, we should probably trope this.
Yes.
Every bad guy that ever had a butterfly knife
Well-
had to do the flippy flips, and every kid that watched it was like, I just want to know how to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
It's not even every bad guy. It's like Face Off. They do it twice.
That's what I'm
like
saying.
with John Travolta's like, here's how you stab a sexual predator in his thigh.
that's right.
Ah.
But you gotta flip it first.
But you
it
gotta
doesn't matter
flip it
how close
first.
he is to your crotch. If you don't flip it around and stab him,
Exactly.
it won't work.
It doesn't work. Right.
Do you want to hit that about 5 more times just for this scene?
Don't even.
All right, it's a little tropey. I think the guy that looks like Huey Lewis was the dude that was working the front desk in Die Hard, I'm
Yep.
pretty sure, right?
I had to be because
had
there
to be,
can't
yeah.
be 2 Huey Lewis stand-ins
It's exactly
in
like
action movies.
It's crazy. They stalk him to the elevator. So they all are there and they could kill him, but instead they stalk him to the elevator, and then he pulls up his PVC pipe grenade launcher. Sorry, Farrell.
It's a
And
real grenade launcher.
just
Yeah.
explodes him out the
Dude.
window.
Talk about best opening kill of a movie.
It was real subtle.
It was the woman through the window.
Dude,
that was the
this is
best opening.
Freaking this 37 millimeter grenade launcher shoots him right in the rib cage, bursts into flames,
Flaming
falls
carcass.
out of a skyscraper
Yeah.
and into a restaurant. And that stuntman, because like obviously there are a couple parts where it's a body, but that final fall is a stuntman.
Yeah.
And you see him like doing the
Yeah, oh no,
kicking and
kudos to
screaming.
him.
Kudos to that guy.
their
and
dinner,
then
their dinner's ruined.
this chick at dinner.
I didn't order that.
Okay, seriously,
Didn't
but
realize that's what flame broiled means.
it's
Right.
also
Who ordered the flambe?
not so subtle. Like you didn't have to involve everyone in the skyscraper that there's been a murder on the 47th floor. Like let's shoot him out the flaming carcass out
Yes.
the window and into the restaurant, and then we still got to take the elevator down and get out of here. Okay.
I mean,
Well, they
knows?
It's kind of. You guys are supposed to be ninjas and kind of sneaky, and you keep like going into the shadows and then turning up other places.
Right.
But the way you kill people isn't subtle at all.
Not
There's
everyone.
no like cut your neck and let you fall down and we'll hide you behind a desk. It's we're gonna smash you through a window and then blow you up and shoot you.
It's
out.
the perfect crime because then everyone's looking at the flaming. Everyone's looking at the flaming body. You
They
just
wouldn't look
drop
for
down.
ninjas
Exactly.
then.
You don't think
you
they
just
knew
drop
it
out of
came
the
from
elevator?
the building? They know it comes from
It was
that
on the
like,
elevator.
looking up into the sky. Like
Where could this have come from? Exactly. And then the elevator dings, and you all just walk your separate ways because everyone's paying attention to the flaming body.
Wait,
Flaming bodies
whoa.
falling
Time
through the
out.
ceiling.
Are you guys telling me you think that these ninja blow up guys took the elevator?
Yeah.
That's,
There's no way.
They swung in
they
through
took
the
the
window.
stairs. They took the
They
stairs.
slinked around the shadows to get
You're
in.
right.
They're gonna slink back out.
They threw down a smoke pellet, ran back to the ropes that they came back
Yes.
in and shimmied back up to the roof,
and-
where they took flight suits and went all the way down to the ground and to his briefcase full of butterfly knives. And then he picked it up and then they went.
Wait, I forgot my knives.
Guys, I didn't grab my knife.
All right. Then it cuts. So from a flaming body falling through into a restaurant, it cuts into some real upbeat opening credits.
Man, smash cut to the most 80s opening credit scene you're going to see
We're building
this week.
engines and we're singing about action.
Here's
Jackson.
Detroit.
He's getting me going.
Automotive.
Remember when we used to build cars here? 'Cause we don't anymore. We just shit in our water.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was very 80s.
Oh, yeah.
The music and the robots making cars.
Yes, robots
I
making
was pretty
cars.
hyped,
You get
yeah.
like the Ford logo. What other logos were there?
Well, all of them.
All of
it was
them.
all
All
like
of them. It was
GM
boom.
and everybody was
Everybody.
10 years before those were all empty husks of buildings.
right
Yes.
before Detroit became an empty husk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously. So,
Sorry to our Lions fans.
yeah, apologize to all, well, not to the Lions fans, but everybody from Detroit.
You Lions fans.
I know there's a lot of crossover there between those two things, but for any of you Detroiters that aren't Lions fans, we're really sorry for you. All right, so we see these two beat cops, one of which is Thomas Wilson, Biff from Back to the Future. 1 year before he would reprise his role in 2 and 3, they shot both of those back to back. So he went right from the set of Action Jackson to go being Mad Dog Tannen, and
He didn't even change his clothes, I don't think.
I know, seriously, it was
Get
awesome.
in this police car now.
Yeah. And so they see this kid trying to rob a very large transgender woman.
Yeah, that guy
I'm
was
sorry.
huge.
Yeah.
That was a man.
It was a
That was a man. Yep, I
my
definitely.
mother.
Yeah, who's that? That's what I said when he was walking down. I was like, "Who's that guy?" And this is the dumbest criminal ever.
Yeah.
And the cops were absolutely right. 'cause
I
A
know.
bunch of skinny ladies walk by that he could have easily taken their purse, and he picks
Right.
the linebacker with a dress on.
And then he
I'll
said
take
like he's
that
got to
one.
go to school 10 more years to graduate to for brains.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
That's what he says.
That,
You gotta
he
go
has
to
some
get a
great
4-year
jokes in that first car scene.
Oh, dude, this
you
car
haven't
scene-
had any, and your apartment says your mom helped you move in.
Yes.
It's a house of wax. That
You
dude was great.
haven't had no pussy in your pants. Yeah, that's the one. Uh-huh.
They basically take this kid back to the station and to intimidate him, like, oh, they're going to feed you to Action Jackson. And it's basically about 2 minutes of Chuck Norris facts about
Yeah.
Action Jackson.
This is the big kind of like expo dump that's disguised as just jokes.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
We don't even let him have a gun. I think his mom got raped by Bigfoot. I think
Yeah,
is like
that's
what they said. in one-
Sexually
Yeah.
assaulted by Bigfoot.
Said his mom got sexually assaulted by Bigfoot and he was her mutant child.
Yeah.
And NASA designed him to walk on the moon without a spacesuit. Stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. A bunch of Chuck Norris facts.
They
It
must
is,
be
it
cleaning
is.
out his cage.
I love how it cuts to like this is the car scene. They're like saying all the stuff in the car, and then it's like now at the police station, we are still talking about the same thing.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
and it's the
so
most
many scary things.
cliche 80s cop shop out of any I mean, it's just like every time we cut back there's 19 hookers being walked around. There's a person at each desk being interviewed that's like straight out of Central Casting of like Street
Yeah.
Thug.
Yes.
It's the same. It's the same cop place as cop place.
Yeah.
Same police station as Predator 2.
Right.
Yes, it is.
It's like those Sports Center commercials where it would have the mascots walking around and stuff,
Yeah.
like this is how a cop station is, and so this is what we're going to do. They get in there, there's a prostitute being interviewed right there. Thomas Wilson's, says how much for a foot job.
The
Hand
how
job.
much
for
the
a
black,
hand job?
the black dude comes up and says, "Hey, baby, how much for a hand job?"
Yeah,
and she,
because my partner sprained his
my
wrist.
partner sprained his wrist and gives a little wink.
Wait, so
And
your
she
partner's
says-
giving you a
And this is fine. Okay. So we arrested you for being a prostitute.
Yeah.
Which is real naughty. But when you're at the police station, it's super fine for the cops to ask
It's
you how
okay.
much.
Well, you're
And
here now.
Yeah. Now that you're here, it's kind of like
It won't count as any more charges.
Grubhub for hand jobs now.
Right.
As long as you're in the building.
In
It's
for a
fine.
penny, in for a pound.
Grubhub?
There you go.
How about a foot job?
Yeah.
And now that's a thing.
Yeah, it
a lot of
is.
Yeah.
things might have started during this movie.
I don't think she meant that, and if they'd only known, right,
Yeah.
as poor
Yeah.
innocent 80s people, what that was going to turn into. But she gives him a foot job right between the legs, bam, and Albert takes this opportunity to try and run. Even though there's 47,000 cops in this room, I can make it. I can get to the outside. And he dances around, flies over table,
Flies
runs it,
over desks.
hits a secretary, papers in the air, all the stuff.
Yeah, all these
Albert
other
is
cops
very-
are falling.
Yeah, Albert's very confusing to me in this movie. he goes through an arc from
I
the
guess.
beginning to the
Oh,
end
he
of
does.
the movie.
You're right, though. He does.
Yeah, he starts off as scared as hell, and then all of a sudden they're like, "You want to help?"
He ultimately crashes into and spills coffee all over Action Jackson.
Love it.
And he sees first the name. I thought this was a great introduction for the character because you
Yes.
see first the nameplate on the desk, and then
Yes.
it pans up to a pissed off Carl Weathers,
Yep.
and then Albert just faints. And
That's
that
kinda
goes,
funny.
he goes, "Chill out, kid," or something.
Yeah,
He says,
Mellow out.
mellow
Oh,
out.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Mellow out.
Ooh, the kid
And he just
goes,
passes
Oh,
out.
I got the vapors. Yeah,
Here's where we get some expo. We're introduced to Predator cast member number 2. Bill Duke shows up as the captain of the police. Not as cliche as most 80s police
No.
captains, right? I mean, they yell a little bit in this scene,
Yeah.
but it's not your typical.
He plays it quite differently than
Yeah.
you'd think.
And apparently, Carl asked him personally
Yes.
to be part of the project.
Yes.
Right after they got done with Predator. So Carl must have had some kind of pull as far as with the production and stuff.
It was Joel Silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was handpicking guys to be in this movie.
There was. It was basically like, hey, you want in, you want in, you want in, and
Yeah.
like you said, they were like, Arnold, come on.
only if I can star.
So can I play Albert?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna have me some fun. I'm gonna have me some fun.
Something in them trees.
That would have been great. Yeah. He actually Jackson walks into his captain's office. He just snaps a razor blade off on his cheek. You can't keep doing. You got to go to dinner.
You see Albert out there? Where is he? Where is he, Bill?
In the trees.
Out there, past them trees. Yeah, I see him.
Turn around. Turn around.
Over here. I see him.
Yeah.
Then he passes out again. 'Cause doesn't he look back at him at one point and
Yeah.
Albert passes out
Yep.
again? Just
he comes out to the door and then
Oh, geez. All right. Well, here's the expo, though. They talk about, he's such a badass, we don't let him have a gun. But really, he lost his gun privileges. He lost his lieutenant stripes.
Yeah.
2 years ago because of some incident trying to arrest Peter Delaplane, this big muckety muck with the auto industry.
His son, right?
His
for
son. Yeah.
some kind of, it was either minor sexual assault or child pornography. I don't know if they ever really make it clear.
He,
what it
he
is.
says a psychopathic sexual predator,
Sexual
when,
predator.
when him and Bill Duke are going back and
Right.
forth. Yeah.
You almost tore his arm off. He had a
spare. Yeah.
That was a good line. I like how he delivered that.
Yeah.
all
it
right.
was.
Cool.
He almost did it. He didn't do it. He just almost did it.
Right.
So
How do you almost tear someone's arm off? It was just half torn off and it was hanging there.
it's like your elbow.
Just enough
You
to
just pull
sew
the
it back
elbow
on.
It's still
Yeah.
dangling
Yes.
by a little
Right.
bit.
Right.
It's still good.
I think we could put it back on.
It's like the tooth hanging out.
Don't, dude. My wife loves to pull a dangling tooth. It's her favorite thing. The kids will run for the hills because if mom finds out that you got a tooth dangling, she's coming at you like a wild bird. Like she just, I don't know what it is.
Really?
She's like, let me get that up out of your head real quick. Like,
She say it
seriously,
like that?
I feel like if I,
That's awesome.
If I had a dangly arm, she'd be like, let me just take care of that real quick, and she'd just want to rip the thing off, dude.
Comes at you with a pliers.
Literally, she would like twist and pull.
I'll take care of that. I'll
That's
take
it.
care of that. So he's been
Riding a desk.
grounded riding a desk for 2 years, and his ex-partner's giving him a hard time about it in the hallway and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But he says, look, I need you to do a thing for me because I forgot it's my wife's Parcheesi night. So Action Jackson, you have got to go to
good.
this Man of the Year ceremony. Guess what? They're giving the award to Peter Delaplane, but I need to know your Action Jackson days are far behind you, right? And that you can just be, Sergeant Jackson and get this done. Right?
Yeah, boss. I've been sitting here for 2 years.
Yeah.
Of course they're gone. I don't have a
Totally.
choice.
So it's your typical muckety muck of, well-to-do higher echelon guys in Detroit, and they're all in their tuxes, and he's up there giving his acceptance speech about, oh gosh, it's the little people, or whatever dumb tropey speech he's supposed to give
It's barely even audible.
to come across
Yeah.
as like a good dude, right?
Right.
And Action's just kind of standing off to the back in his tux, and up walks apparently
head.
the mid Sharon Stone, according
With
to
the
this
loofah
guy.
on her head.
The early Sharon Stone.
Yes.
Yes.
So one of the other things they talk about in the back and forth is that Action Jackson went to Harvard or something, like some Ivy League school.
Oh, right.
Did anyone else get like Buckaroo Banzai vibes?
A little
from
bit
that,
like-
where
Says it
it's
right
like,
there.
He's everything, right? He's done it all, like Buckaroo Banzai.
Expect him to show up in a kimono.
Right. Like he's also
I'm
a
half
guitar
Japanese.
player, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Is someone crying?
I'm also an empath. I can tell which direction people went from feeling their cars.
She walked.
She walked. Sharon Stone, my God.
Goes there and flashes her ass at him,
Right.
Like no other. Like, oh hey, I'm married to him, but just in case it doesn't work out for part of this movie,
Yeah.
I'd be happy to show you my butt.
You think she flirted with him?
Oh yeah,
Yeah?
yeah. Especially the second time, she was flirting.
It's
You think
Carl
so?
Weathers. I'd flirt with Carl Weathers.
Well, that's valid.
the
He is a
dude-
damn handsome man.
My
For
daughter,
I'll tell you.
Jenna watched this with me, and the first time he had not his shirt off, but I think it was just like
It's
the
when he's
T-shirt
like
on.
this,
The-
right?
the
Or
red-
no?
no, just when he had like the red shirt on, he just went.
Okay.
She literally made an audible like, "Damn!" Like,
Yeah. How is he
Weathers-
wet all the time? He's always wet.
I don't know.
Baby oil.
No,
It's what it is.
One time
well,
he came out of the shower, so I kind of understood that. But every other time his shirt was off, he was soggy. I don't get it. I don't know how you do that.
I don't know either.
Unless it's hot in Detroit.
I was gonna say it's a hot summer day in Detroit.
He does make a mistake where she says, "Well, you can barely hear Peter's speech back here." He's like, "Yeah, that's why it's the best seat in the house." I take it you're not one of his friends. He's like, "No, I don't remember what the exact line is, but something horrible."
He says unless they redefine the word.
That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
But she's definitely got some F me face going there.
Yeah, that's when she turns around and goes, "I bet I can make you change
That's
your mind."
what she
Right.
says.
Here's my
But I can make you change your mind.
Yeah, that's flirty as hell.
Yeah, but in the sense of like I'm gonna make you change your mind about my husband.
Well,
That's why they have the chair in the bedroom.
however I have to, Ryan. I will change your mind no matter what it takes, including taking my pants off.
Do you have that black dress with the no back
Oh,
Of
the
course I
no
do.
back. I
The
forgot
backless-
about that.
Yeah.
I
The
know we said we weren't
backless-
going to mention it,
dress?
but
Yes.
if we hit 1,000, he'll wear the dress.
What?
That is fictional. That was not agreed upon. I don't even have one.
The only problem is you can't do the Sharon Stone loofah
No.
on top of your head.
No, can't.
I can stick a loofah to this for sure. Easy.
With some Scotch tape.
Yeah, just a little command strip and a trip to the dollar store, and I'm Sharon
go.
Stone.
That's all it takes.
That's it, guys. Do it. Eat your heart out,
You're
internet.
$5 away from looking like
Yes.
Sharon Stone.
I got $5. I will do it. If we get to 1,000 patrons, I will
Perfect.
make that my mug in the shower.
Sharon Stone from Action.
Sharon Stone.
April
Perfect.
showers.
No cleavage, though. I'm a lady.
That's fine. That's fine. Action Jackson we can shoot a sauna scene later, but we'll get to that.
Perfect.
Action Jackson has no chill, like none whatsoever. He had very clear instructions from his police chief, and the second he gets to talk to Peter Delaplane, he insinuates about how bad his son is getting railed in prison. I bet he's in the shower getting raped right now. I mean, it's basically what he says to him.
He basically walks up and goes,
This was literally like that, but Peter Delaplane did the same thing.
Right. He does.
It's the classic bad guy, good guy. Like, oh, nice to see you. Oh, nice to see you. By the way, your son's getting raped in a shower.
right.
Oh yeah, Lieutenant. Oh wait, you mean Sergeant now, isn't it?
Sergeant
Oh,
now, isn't
that's
it?
right. Yeah.
Sick burn. I lost my badge, but
burn.
your son is getting a train run on him.
Yeah. And Sharon Stone's standing like, wait, you guys know each other? Because I was just trying to hump him.
This is awkward. This is weird.
Well,
Doesn't she say after they part ways, she's like, I guess I couldn't change your mind or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
an option
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't even try yet. We
I
didn't
guess
get
there goes a three-way.
That's not in the cards. Cuts away to some random boat in the middle of the water with a couple of guys that need to get thrown into pun jail.
Here's where the joke started. I didn't know where these jokes started, and now I know where these jokes started. I was so happy. I was who came up with all these dumb jokes, and now I know it was Action Jackson, and this guy had 15 of them. Was like, is there any way we could fit these into this stupid
Yeah.
movie? Yeah, if you could say them right on the boat.
Perfect. I think that guy was Kurt's uncle. I looked in the credits afterwards to see
Oh,
if I
is
could
that
spot
right?
a mummer in there, but I couldn't. I was like,
You-
Twas
Mama
not.
puns?
maybe he was
not.
uncredited.
It's on the other side of the family.
You know
Is
his
that what
name,
it-
right?
oh, got it.
Who, what's his name?
Yeah. As these bodyguards
name.
are walking
Yes.
around, clearly paying attention to, the invisible men
Dude.
that are on the way to come and kill the
The
guy.
bodyguard and the captain of the ship.
Yeah,
Are
right.
just, yeah.
They're just shooting the breeze out on the thing. When we get a Jim Cotta level random arrow through the chest,
Yeah.
and
Guy goes, oh, and the captain says, well, if you need some Tums, I got some in the back.
That was excellent.
we're gonna need a lot of time.
He's got an arrow through his chest. Oh, you got some heartburn? It looks
some heartburn
you
there, boy.
don't sound good.
Oh, yeah, boy.
That's right.
You gotta stop eating that Hardee's.
What do you call a guy with no arms and no legs with an arrow through his chest?
Yeah, dead. What are we gonna do? We're gonna pack Tums into the wound? Is it
We
like
call him acid reflux.
That's all we needed was the ninja.
the delayed reaction from the guy was next level. Yes, next level. Dude falls in, and then they're all murdered to the point where in mere seconds, everyone on the boat is dead except for the main guy who's yapping on the phone about the last guy that got killed. Oh yeah, he got killed, but what does that have to do with me? All these people.
You guys look exactly the same.
He drops AWA, which means it's our first clue that they all have something to do with the Auto Workers Alliance Association.
Auto Workers Association.
It's like, I'm out on the water. Ninjas can't go across water.
Right?
They can't get me out here.
Yeah.
Now you're ruining my opera.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, that's right. You're in the middle of an aria.
I don't
That's what it
have
says.
any glass windows to smash through on this boat.
I was gonna
so
say-
I'm safe.
That's another tropey thing of the late 80s, early 90s was like people getting murdered to opera music.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Or the Punisher movie.
And that. Oh, you're right.
He fights Kevin Nash, yeah,
Yes.
to some opera music. Here's another. I don't know. All right, so these guys always come up with really creative, but like you said, non-subtle ways to kill people, and this time they're going to blow up the entire yacht.
Oh,
Okay.
This is choice.
They've got a briefcase of C4. They knock on the door like Andy Graham, like a land shark, from SNL. Guy opens the door, handcuffed, right on his wrist. Oh crap! Oh crap!
Super kicks him into the back of the boat.
Sweet
He's
chin
like,
music.
sweet chin music.
He opens this thing up. 2 seconds have gone by. He opens it up. It's already at 9 seconds.
Yeah. Why would you open that briefcase? Why do you give a shit what's in there? What he crawls over like maybe it's just a snack, and then opens it up. Oh no!
This isn't Jello.
Yeah.
He doesn't even try to rip a single wire out. I'm trying. If it's gonna blow up anyway, man, rip them all out, dude. Do something.
That's
Yeah.
I said that to Lauren. I was like, I would be grabbing some wires and ripping.
Right,
'Cause
just-
you never know.
Yell to the heavens.
That's what I was gonna.
What's the worst that can
He
happen?
gave zero effort at this
No.
point.
But also,
9 seconds? I'm just gonna scream for 8 of them.
when John Bon Jovi and Huey Lewis or whatever are outside setting it up, are they like, what'd you set the timer at? 13 seconds.
Yep.
We got to get off the boat.
That's what I wanted to see.
You did what?
I
Yeah.
said 33 seconds.
That's what I wanted to see is those 4 guys Flintstone running to the boat after he put that handcuff on and kicked them, just like just running to the boat because they had to move and they were way off.
That was a real tight window, bro.
Yeah,
They made it though.
Yeah.
when the bomb of all bombs goes off.
Dude.
Bomb 1,
They're just
bomb
like
2.
casually rowing away from the thing. Okay. Dude, next time, 30 seconds at least. At least 30 seconds.
The rowing guy's like, okay, man, next time, how about 25 seconds? Jesus.
Love it though.
It was a way,
another
the
way to-
explosion was nonsense.
It was insane.
It was nonsense. It was
And
amazing, but it was
The
way too
entire
much.
boat just shatters
Twice.
and
Balsa wood everywhere.
also yes, exactly.
That's why those guys didn't flinch, because that boat was made out of styrofoam and balsa wood. And you worried about wood hitting you? Nah, it's fine.
Still gonna
Man,
burn up
these,
there.
these rich guys got to stop saving money on their cheap boats.
Right.
Seriously. You want to pay for this yacht? $17. But it looks good, right?
Yeah, they
even
suck to
floats.
ride in, but when they explode, mwah.
Crazy. All I could think about when I saw that explosion and the C4 and the thing was the speed, which we're about to do. There's enough C4 to put a hole in the world.
C4 to put a hole in the world. Oh, and it does.
but not in the ocean.
No, you can't put a hole in the ocean.
But the Detroit River,
Yeah.
man.
Is that what it was?
Is that where? I guess that's where it would
Were
have to be.
they rowing to Canada at that point?
I think they were just trying to get through all the oil slick.
I didn't realize till like a year ago that Canada and Detroit were across the river from each other.
Yes.
That's how dumb I am. I'm like, literally, there's Windsor,
Yeah, there's Windsor.
Detroit,
Yeah.
right next to each
Yep.
other.
The big bridge there, the Stars and Stripes Bridge, whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't use my brain for geography whatsoever.
not
There's no part of it that's good with maps.
What's
my
a
wife will tell
city?
you. Yeah. What's the capital of? I don't know.
All right. Cut to Carl Weathers showing up at his Hollywood issued 80s cop apartment. Okay. All the standard that's not what I wanted.
We love tropes.
All of the standard low lighting. lights
Neon.
coming through the neon lights coming
Neon through the
blinds.
windows,
Did
yes.
he have a dog? Why did he leave his TV on?
A blender with, yesterday's breakfast in it or whatever, right? Because his wife left him over the Peter Delaplane
I
thing.
wish that they had him making like a power smoothie of just like pizza slices and aspirin.
Oh yeah, like in End of Days, where Arnold wakes up and
Arnold
makes that
does it, yeah.
terrible smoothie.
They do that in Men at Work.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's in Cobra.
And it's a visual thing. So if you can't see this,
We have an audio podcast, so
It's an audio medium,
but if
for
you're
this-
on Spotify, you can actually just watch the video. Right.
there's a moment where he's here, he's listening to
Yes, his answering machine.
his answering machine. He's gonna walk back. I want you guys to tell me what in the frickety frack is that?
that guy, the stand-up of, is that the boxer guy?
No, it's literally. I'll pause it so you can see that there is the person standing. It's never commented about.
Oh, is that the guy from 3 Men and a Baby? That was.
That's just standing there
creepy.
behind the
It's
door.
like a guy in box. Is that him? Is that Rocky?
I don't know, but it's some blonde.
What the heck?
It's the most random thing, just standing in his apartment. It's never commented on. No one says anything about it. They cut to the next scene, and it's never mentioned again.
His butler.
I don't know what
They
the hell.
don't-
Somebody tell me what this is.
James, it was the script supervisor.
Walk across after.
Walk across. We're
right
just,
now I'm
you know
here.
what?
Freeze.
It looks like his grandma.
Exactly.
Right. Is that a maid costume? I can't tell.
It looks like a boxer.
Or
Somebody.
someone in boxer shorts.
There's nothing on the internet. No one has ever asked this question. What in the hell is in Action Jackson's apartment by his door? The bad guys aren't even after him yet at this point in the movie.
Right.
So there's not like somebody waiting with a frying pan behind his door or something. What the frick is
This
this?
is how you hold a frying pan.
I don't know what looks how they are. That's what it looks like.
I got a frying pan.
I'm out of
And it's
butterfly
loaded.
knives, but I got a frying pan.
Okay, dude. All right.
I know it was freaky because I had to rewind
Did
it.
you notice it too?
No, I had to rewind it a few times.
Only my second viewing, I just went, what the frick?
What the
No, for me, Carl Weathers was on, and I was like, "Big man muscles, me like."
Oh, good for you. Jeez. All right, so he gets an answer machine message he ignores from this guy Tony saying, "I'm freaking out, man. You gotta call me, man." But he doesn't call him.
Action Jackson's just like, huh, I guess I'll talk to him in the morning. Can't be that important.
From the guy that
just
says,
Tony.
don't turn on lights when you get home. Don't turn on anything.
Don't do anything. Then he goes to back to the police station, and they're like, "Tony is calling you. Go, see him." So this is where he goes to Robert Davi's house.
Yeah. He sees the commercial too in this scene.
Oh, for
Hottest, the Halley, the new car from
That can
Peter
fly.
Della. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The red action 80s car.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
That's what we call it.
More
Get your
than
new-
meets the eye.
Your 1988 red sports car.
Yeah, we know that you don't think it's 6 inches.
That is important because when he goes to Tony's house or his apartment, even though he called him 4 times, "What are you doing here?
What are you doing?
How'd you get in here?" I'm Robert Davi, also from Die Hard. It's just and Goonies and every other movie
And License to Kill.
and License to Kill. Literally the year after this
Cops and Robertsons.
is sweating profusely.
He looks like hammered.
Dude, this
He
is
looks terrible.
This is a way different Robert Davi performance because he's always like a bad guy
Yeah.
or some
Or he's at least got it together.
schmucky cop guy.
The FBI?
And the FBI, yes.
It's like
Agent
freaking
Jack.
Vietnam, man.
Just like freaking Saigon.
High school.
I was in junior high, dickhead.
Yeah.
I didn't get like Action Jackson shows up. This is his friend.
Right.
But he's putting a gun to his head like, don't come any closer. I'm
He's
on the
like-
edge.
It's like they threw every you need to tweak, you need to act like you're talking about something important, you need
Yeah.
to act like you're on drugs, you need to act like you're paranoid, maybe you should act like you're drunk, also act like you haven't slept in 4,000 days.
Yeah,
It's,
exactly.
and he
gonna
has
sit
one
here-
scene to do all of this.
Yeah.
You're gonna sit here and you're gonna listen to me, man.
Yes.
You're gonna listen to every word I say.
No, don't take me to the hospital. I'll kill myself.
But first, a really crappy musical interlude.
Dude.
Cut to nightclub.
Oh,
Cut to.
Scene. It cuts back to
It
this to
does.
finish
Yeah.
to finish the scene.
Yes.
But in
She's-
between, we got to see her sing.
Yeah.
Here we go.
She's at the elite club.
Joey's Elite
Dun-
Club
And then the
Singing.
worst song ever.
singing Faraway Eyes.
Is that how do you know the name of the song?
It was
Farrell?
stuck in my head for at least 20 minutes after I heard it. Far
Oh,
the
it's-
eyes.
horrible.
Wait till we get to Can You Kiss Me?
Yeah.
Undress me.
dude. I looked up Vanity after this because I'm like,
Yeah.
who the hell is this and why is she in this movie?
She was a musician. Yeah.
Yeah.
She is known for being like playing a sultry character in
Yeah.
movies. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
No, this is not how you do that.
This is not even a little bit how you do that.
It's bad,
She's
dude.
She.
bad at everything she does.
I think.
I don't agree with that. But
And her
this-
hair is about this big. She looks like the dude from Mr. Nanny before he loses his hair. That's what she looks
The
like.
guy wearing the dome?
Yeah.
Yes, the guy. The guy that just died from.
Yeah.
What's
Bob
that?
Uecker?
No. The
Oh, that was
the
Mr.
dude,
Belvin.
Buster Poindexter,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know that guy.
whatever his real name is. I
'Cause
can't
he's-
remember off the top of my head. But yes.
Yes.
But yeah, but her hair actually was big because my daughter was like, people have their hair like that. It looks
And
terrible.
it grew.
And the next musical number, it's twice the size
Yes.
of
Oh, dude.
this one.
Yep.
And I was like, Jenna, you don't understand. You had to make it as humongous as possible, okay? Or you didn't look good.
That was it back then.
Can't
right?
move, right?
Come on.
It moved south once we got further.
Further away from the
away
equator.
from the-
Look.
Yeah. No. I was going with they stopped making hair big and they started making boobs big.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, that's
gotcha.
what it was.
That was.
I thought you thought as she moved
No,
closer to the equator, then her hair shifted in size.
Well, technically,
gravity.
The gravity of the
technically, because you'd be going into higher humidity zones, you'd get more of like the pop out.
Well, she's so damn hot, Ryan,
Ryan,
that it had to that her hair went down, and you know that because she goes up to Mr. Incredible and says, "I thought I'd get a standing ovation," and he's sitting in a chair and says, "You got one,
Dude,
And if you don't get it, I'm talking about my dick."
And the fact that this is such a well-known line from the producers, and I'm like, no way! Mel Brooks stole that from Action Jackson.
Did
Oh,
he?
is that right? It
No,
was in
well, the producers were like from the sixth, like what's
The
first one?
producers, he wrote the producers in the '60s as the movie,
Yeah.
But then there was the musical on Broadway,
and they added it.
And that's from the musical. Because Nathan Lane says that we may be sitting down, but we're both giving you a standing ovation.
How about
And when that line came through Craig T. Nelson's mouth the other night,
right.
Just
I was
robbed Action
"No." Wow.
And then takes her to the. when they're in the bedroom, it couldn't be less sexy. I wish there should have been kazoos playing, not like sexy music.
It was
and then
You don't think it should have?
no.
no, it should have been like. Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to put my wiener in you.
Yeah, give me 2 good reasons why I should do that. Yeah, and then
I'm only good for 2 good pumps.
right. I'm gonna give you these drugs so
That's
you're
why,
asleep
that's why
while
I'm
I
going to give
hump
you heroin first.
So
That
creepy.
syringe was the most comical cartoon syringe I've ever seen. Too.
It
Nobody
sucked it up
does
with both
drugs
hands.
with
Are
that.
you doing
I
the
was gonna
drugs
say,
right now?
he's like, by the way, I have this pre-made gold syringe with heroin in it for you. Yes.
I just left a horse track and I found this super cool syringe. It's so humongous. I don't do drugs. I'm assuming that that's not how you do them. You don't need something that.
I also don't
ridiculous.
exactly know how.
Yeah, all of my drugs don't come in a needle.
like, do you want a
But yeah.
scotch? And she's like, no, thanks. I don't do alcohol. Do you have heroin?
Yeah,
yes.
but then
Exactly.
he sticks
black
her
tar?
in the thigh,
Yeah. Oh,
and she goes night, and then
Yes.
and then
That's the end of the scene,
Yes.
guys.
It's then we're back
Yeah,
to
Then they go to bed.
Larry.
that's what we call the Delaplane 2 minute.
Yeah.
the
Two pump.
They
two
give her,
pump
give her
jump.
the old 2.
Two pump jump.
Yeah. Why? Oh God! Why are only my socks off?
It takes longer to say his name than it does for anything to happen.
Exactly.
Okay.
Mr. Not So Incredible.
That's why he's so angry.
Cut back to Tony, who's still trying to kill himself in
Right.
the bedroom. Like, this is a long scene. They've been talking for a while.
Yeah.
Right?
At least 2 pumps.
At least.
I had to think about it too, because then I'm thinking he's at a nightclub, so is it night and day? And then as I watched it again, I was like, wait a minute,
She's
he's just
auditioning,
at the nightclub during the daytime,
Rehearsal or whatever. Yeah.
singing to Mr. whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Oh, this is where you meet Al too. In that nightclub scene is where you
Right.
meet Super
Ed.
Humongous.
Oh,
Is
Mr.
it
Ed. Mr.
Ed,
Ed.
Mr. Ed.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It was Ed.
Got to name him that to set up an incredible joke later.
Sure, dude. Don't you?
All right. So he's still, basically, Tony's still suicidal and is trying to tell Action Jackson that Peter Delaplane, he goes, hot, hotter, hottest. Like, why don't you say his name?
Dude, he's like, who's trying to kill you? And he's like, well, I'm going to give you 3 guesses, but you should just leave 2, and I'll give you a hint. Hot, hotter, hottest.
Yeah.
Peter
It's
Delaplane?
like,
yeah.
Peter Delaplane? Yeah.
That was
guy.
unnecessary, man.
Why didn't you just say his name?
I'm so ready to kill myself, but I still have time for some jokes.
I still have time for crafty dialogue.
Yeah.
A riddle. He leaves. He's like, all right, man, I guess stay here by yourself. You'll be fine.
And there's no ending to the scene.
No, he just walks.
It smash cuts to him standing at the elevator.
And then UPS guy coming through from the elevator.
Yes. What can Brown do for you?
The most suspicious MR ever. How did Action Harvard graduate, I know all the bad guys ever, Jackson, not see that mirror glassed weirdo and not go, that's obviously an assassin. That's clearly. This guy is an assassin,
going to
no
kill
doubt.
someone.
I'm killing him even if he isn't just because he looks like one.
I mean, the chances are greater than 50, I think,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Did you see his logo too?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was APS.
APS.
Right.
Yes.
All package service.
Package service.
Any package sucks.
Any parcel service.
We're basically the same thing.
Right.
Sign here.
Crappier.
It's
and
all
you
brown.
die.
You die.
It's COD.
That's right.
Also,
Oh, yeah.
I kind of thought it was a funny line.
Which one?
It's COD.
Oh, yeah.
And then he shoots him.
Sorry, what were you going to say, Ryan?
so his friend is all like, how'd you get in here? Oh, he's all
Yeah.
freaked out. The guy shows up with the package. He's like, oh, I get a package? Is it my birthday?
Especially the way he knocks on the door and the door just like opens. And he's like, Mr. Moretti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know if you ordered something?
Yes. He's like, oh, my dad said he was going to send something when I was 6. Maybe he finally did.
Yeah, it was probably those Star Wars figures that everybody sent away for and nobody got. And then
Finally here.
yeah, they're finally here.
Oh, man. The one thing that'll make me finally not want to kill myself anymore. Sign here. Okay. Yeah.
And again, Mr. Paranoia, haven't slept for days. This dude looks like the man that will kill you. And he just goes, okay, we outside for that. Action was here, so it's fine.
After all this, Action Jackson interrupts Peter Delaplane's lunch with his wife and somebody else from the AWA with autopsy photos and just ruins. I mean, he plays it off. Delaplane pays it off, but he's so pissed later that he wants to go home and karate fight James Liu in his atrium or wherever the hell that,
In a sweater.
with a collar popped underneath it.
He didn't even take off his business casual outfit.
He doesn't need to.
kick that
He's that
dude's
good.
ass.
But
Yeah.
come on, this is okay.
You didn't buy it?
That Craig T. Nelson is gonna beat the shit out of James Liu in a
said-
sweater vest.
Said, I love
All
the
of it?
ending when he's like, lessons over.
Yes.
And it's Craig T. Nelson. And the whole time I'm like, oh, of course he's a rich guy getting a karate lesson from.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, oh no, it was him teaching the other guy karate. What a bait and switch.
And then you
didn't
got
buy it?
somebody from the Wing Kong dragging out a Chang Sing.
Yeah.
Right out of because here comes Al Leong, who was fought against this James Liu in Big Trouble in Little China. Get rid of him. He's got to drag his broken ass out of there. And I'm like, it's Coach, man. Coach is not going to beat up James Liu with he might as well have done it with a neckerchief tied around his neck. Like,
So, I want to introduce something to you, James.
yeah.
Craig T. Nelson isn't actually Coach. He's an actor.
I understand that. But
Hold on.
But actors have certain personas.
Yeah, I'm
right?
totally-
right. And so it's like,
It took me by surprise. I was like,
yeah,
you
Here's
can
the
move
bullshit
your
of that.
Yes.
Is that and this is a ton of 80s action movies do this.
Right.
The main bad guy can't just be like smart. He's got to be also an undercover ass kicker, like
Right.
Kingpin or something like that. So they have to have a scene where I can still fight Action Jackson at the end of the movie. You have to know I can do that. So I'm just gonna beat up this dude. There's no chance in hell I could beat up.
It really undersells a movie, though. I've seen some movies where they don't let the main bad guy get a good fight in, and it sucks. So you have to do it.
to a certain extent.
I think so.
There's some, unless you have a really bad.
There's a balance, guys.
Yep.
Right? Like
imagine
Hans and Carl, right?
Yeah.
Hans doesn't fight.
No.
But that fight scene with Carl and John McClane
That's
is one of the best ever.
Right.
But when you have someone that's got a certain persona, so look at like a Jack Nicholson.
Yes.
If Jack Nicholson as the Joker had suddenly started karate fighting Batman at the end, or karate fighting somebody else earlier in the movie, we would have been like, Jack Nicholson doesn't kung fu anybody.
right,
That doesn't make
exactly.
any damn sense.
That's fair.
So to see certain actors do it against other actors that you know are ass kickers, it's like suspension of disbelief is a thing that I believe
not gonna
in. But there's some things where I'm just like, that's stretching the bounds of what I could reasonably believe and swallow.
It was pushing the limits. I still enjoyed it. I still.
Yeah. Oh
I
no,
liked
it's
it.
for the campiness
Yeah,
factor.
sure.
It's
Yes.
awesome. It's hilarious. Like, yeah, break his arms, like take this trash out of
Lesson's
him.
over. There's ways to do it. Like John Wick does it, where
was
the
actually
main
gonna say
bad
John
guy
Wick.
is
Yep.
like the main bad guy is he's badass almost because he's so calculating, and you get a little bit of he can fight, but
Right.
it's not like they needed to have a scene where he snaps a dude's arm with his sweater on.
They got to make sure you know that he's tough, though.
Yeah, well, that's
Exactly.
the thing.
In John Wick, it's a surprise. The fight scene at the end when he actually finally fights him is like, oh yeah. But
Right. But if
Dude,
you
so
but if you
sick.
had a scene where, you know, it's like Craig T. Nelson beating up Scott Adkins in a movie or something. You know what I mean? Right?
No.
Like,
It's like Busta Rhymes at the end of Halloween 8.
right.
You know, he just comes through the door and he's like, chicken fried Mikey, and starts throwing roundhouse kicks at Michael Myers.
Mike Myers.
It's a weird pull, but I love it.
But if you've seen it,
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. It makes total sense. It's amazing, but
Unlike that scene, the next scene was super necessary to the plot and the story because we get Sharon Stone in a sauna. Okay.
After this scene ends, I looked at Lauren. I'm like, why is this scene here?
There's,
Boobies.
What are we
no,
doing?
hold on. There's tons of reasons, plot and
Two
character
reasons
wise.
in
there's at
particular.
least two.
Look, it signified the sweat coming off of her signified the stress that she was under. having been married to Peter Delaplane and the conflict within her, knowing that maybe there was nefarious things going on, and so it had to show her. I'm just saying it was necessary and needed for character reasons.
And this is
You're
also,
right.
if you check IMDb, this is the first screen credit for Sharon Stone's vagina, which will later be seen in Basic
I'll
Instinct.
tell you, this was like she did it so slyly too. It wasn't even full on. It was like side.
Are trying to treat this as like a moment of just gratuitousness.
No, no.
But
It's
it
not.
was
No.
artistic.
You're right.
And
It's all
necessary.
It's the merits. It was the merits of.
I think these two are more believable than you are in this.
James, what
Craig-
text did I send you watching this movie? What did I say?
I don't remember, but it was about
I
boobs.
said, this movie is a who's of 80s boobies.
It's true. It's true. And Sharon's were on display in
Yep.
the scene.
So Craig R. Baxley, he was really trying to bring forth his character development skills.
Yes.
And prove that he
Yes.
could do more than just Action Jackson.
Right.
And
I think we don't know as much about Sharon Stone's character if we don't have this.
We need to know
right.
she's clean. She can't just be walking around unbathed.
Exactly.
It's
would do that?
interesting that
Yeah.
you say that because Vanity seemed very dirty because we never saw her.
We never saw her
Yeah.
shower. So I was,
was a junkie.
what else do we know about her, right? She probably
She's a junkie.
smells.
she probably stinks
Yeah.
Right.
all over.
Lauren was very disappointed in this movie because there were not good boobs.
Oh, she wasn't.
yes.
No.
She was upset
yeah.
at Sharon
She was
Stone.
very
She was upset
upset.
at Sharon Stone's cleavage.
Yes.
I disagree.
Well, the problem is she got to see the whole thing in the sauna, so it's like cleavage can only go so far, right? When you see
Right.
so you see everything out, it's like
Yeah.
then we see what's happening.
We even get some of Sharon Stone's butt in here too.
Lauren's more about just boobs.
She is.
Lauren's more of a boob
She really
girl.
is.
She's a boob
She's a
aficionado.
boob girl. Okay.
All right.
New show on the Patreon.
They've asked for that.
Sharon Stone.
I don't doubt it.
She has. Or they have. She hears a super important phone call that the henchman's just taking in the hallway.
Oh my god.
In the hallway of
And
his house.
she just like peeks her head out like, yoo-hoo.
I am doing
Who's
the
out
bad
there?
things with the main plot. With said things.
I
that are
heard that
important.
Peter murdered these people, but let's discuss it over bad guy dinner tonight, or we discuss it over bad guy dinner.
We need to get the plot moving here. So could we, I don't know, phone call?
There's
Should
like-
we do phone call?
Yes. Because there's a few of those moments.
At the table phone in the hallway.
table phone in the
Take it in
hallway.
the bedroom, man.
I just
Yeah,
like
cordless phone.
I just love how she's not even sly about it. Like she literally opens, sticks her whole head out, looks in the mirror. This guy Cardi is just like, "Oh, hi, Mrs. Delaplane. Yeah, don't mind me talking about your husband murdering people."
He should have
You
been in
didn't
the
hear
kitchen.
that, did you?
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
he should have been in the kitchen with the long cord and like gone into the pantry and closed the door,
Or had it all wrapped around himself,
Yes.
like how you used to do. when you had the
twirling
long
it around
cord.
his
Like,
finger as he talks.
Oh, hey, listen, we definitely weren't talking about murder. It wasn't a murder talk.
She tries to get out of there, and he's being kind of murdery with their Cartier's phone. And I'm like,
Do you want me to drive
I'll
you?
drive you off,
to your
off a
death?
cliff, to the cliff, to the coffee place.
To the car, to the clip.
Do you want to go to Murder Town? We're headed to Murder Town. I'll take you to Murder Town if you want to murder.
Say Murder Town? She said, I meant Motown.
Yeah.
Motown.
Did you hear murder? I said
Motown.
Murder? Who said murder?
Door opens. Action Jackson, literally right there. She's like, "Perfect timing. Are you going somewhere? That's where I'm going. Let's go."
Looks back at the
weird
henchman like,
moment.
oh, you almost killed me.
She does. She looks back and she's like, "Perfect timing."
And I'm assuming action wasn't there for her. So what did he just go? I was gonna.
No, he was
other
literally
people, but I guess
like
we'll go.
about to knock,
Yeah.
like
Are you going
I was
somewhere?
here.
I just got here, actually.
I was investigating. Well, okay.
was-
You want to go? We could go, I guess.
Listen, if we're digging into the actual police work in this movie, it's
Wow.
atrocious.
This is true.
Atrocious.
His name is Action Jackson, not Report Filing Jackson.
Well, I'm not, I don't.
actually his
For the last 2 years,
he's got
it
the
has been.
jokes about the like, oh, the whatever his detective guy is like, hey, looks like you were gonna really heavy Xerox assignment there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So she goes out to lunch with him at a bar and she spills the beans super quick to somebody she just met. I mean, I get it's Carl Weathers, but she's spilling the beans. Like, and then I heard him talk about this guy. And then he mentioned O'Rooney. But he's a really good dude. And I don't think
Basically-
he would do anything bad.
Basically, all three people you've heard about in the news that got murdered in the last week,
Yeah.
he talked about it.
He did.
You know all those guys that got killed in the movie? Those were the ones.
Yeah.
And then also, as an aside here, Dorky McFace or whatever that guy's name was, walks into the bar, only sees the back of Action's head,
Right.
and then says, "Whoa!" I don't know how he knew it was him.
I
but
didn't know. Oh, you're talking about Albert?
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Walks
get-
in again.
The weirdest running joke through the whole movie.
It is.
It really is.
Oh yeah, because the scene
It's an
even
art.
starts focused on him,
Right.
where he's kind of walking through the streets. He's like, "Yeah, oh yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna pickpocket today," and then he like walks into the restaurant. He's like, "Ah,
I know that, fro. Right.
I know that mustache.
I know that fade. Okay.
Right. All right. So
very
they walk out
dense.
onto the sidewalk, and I'm very excited to talk about this scene. They walk out on the sidewalk, and Sharon Stone says, "So why do they call you Action?"
Cut to taxi cab crashing into them.
He tackles her out of the way, and he says, "I gotta catch a cab."
He says, "You get to the police station. I gotta catch a cab."
The timing of the bad guy. Like, room. I know he's in there. He's going to come out soon, and she's going to say the thing. And just to have that happen at the exact right moment was
yes.
amazing. Amazing.
Crazy. He leaps over these cars,
Dude.
and T-1000 chases this cab down the block.
They're
trying
going
to figure out how
40
he's
miles
keeping
an
up.
hour, and he's running next to it going, hey!
Yeah. At one point,
Pull over.
At one point, he paces it. He's now
Yeah.
overtaken
I know, that's
it
what I mean.
and is
Yep.
next to this cab.
Right. They're showing him running at speed next to that cab, and that cab is going at least 30, 40,
I mean,
beyond
Now,
human
it's-
limit.
It's downtown Detroit. So,
I understand.
who knows?
Carl Weathers is fast. I saw him running down the beach with Sylvester Stallone and the close up on his
Oh,
quads in Rocky 3.
They were so fast they had to play it in slow motion.
They did, he was too. He had to half jog
Yeah.
or to not make Stallone look bad.
That's right.
There was in the they talked about
That
it.
is, they
and the-
talked about it. And
He had to slow down. He was
slow
too
down.
fast.
Yep.
Because he played in the NFL and Canadian Football League, and he was a legit athlete. But you're not going to chase down a car. I mean, if anybody could do it, it'd be Carl Weathers. But the T-1000 wasn't this successful, and he does the same move. He runs, dives on. He doesn't have hooks for hands, and gets onto the cab better than the freaking Terminator from the future did.
I know.
Yep.
So what you're saying is James Cameron also ripped off Action Jackson.
Yes.
I guess so. If that,
the
if,
6 degrees of Cameron, that's how it works.
I guess if no one else can jump on cars,
Would
after this.
T2 be as good without Action Jackson?
Probably not.
You do get that weird scene where the dangly metal piece is in the cop car still, and he's got to pull it out and throw it.
Yes. What you don't see too is after he jumps onto the top of that cab, there's a seatbelt on top of there that he clicks right behind him, and then he's able to hang on because there's parts where he's just like,
Oh, dude.
"Hey, I guess I shouldn't have done this."
Everybody clap your hands.
Yeah.
When it freaking turns out sideways out of the intersection, he's just hanging on to the top of it. Fantastic stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
It's going
great.
fast.
The gratuitous collateral damage of this car chase
Dude.
is. I love how it's such a background fact of like the tanker truck just tips over.
I'm not sure that that was
crashes into a
supposed to
cab.
happen. I think that actually
accident.
happened.
They come around the corner. There is an oxygen tank delivery truck
Yep.
coming the other way for the biggest goddamn explosion I've ever seen. And I'm like, that poor guy. He was probably
Seriously.
already sweating balls, super nervous. He's driving this truck full of volatile oxygen tank. He's just like, I just got to get there. 2 more blocks. I'm almost there. Oh, shit.
Was that a guy on a taxi? Oh no!
Can't wait to retire next week.
Yeah,
probably
I picked a bad day to stop sniffing glue.
You could see that explosion from Canada. It was huge.
Yeah.
Freaking cab, this background cab jackknifes. The oxygen truck crashes into the cab. The cab explodes. The oxygen truck explodes. A third car explodes. I was literally just like, oh my God, like 5 people just died.
Yeah,
Crazy.
bad too. Not like
5 people
they
just burned
might
to
have made
death.
it. That was at least 7 deaths. Could have been kids in those cars.
Right. They should have just had a school bus.
Yeah,
Flip over.
That would have been amazing. You just see little
The wheels on the bus go around.
Boom, boom, boom.
Some background actors like they were just on their way to Disneyland. No, on
And
a
then-
Christian mission trip.
Okay, guys, time to go to the Special Olympics. Oh no!
Meanwhile, Action Jackson's like, oh, I'm going to get you.
That's right. He doesn't even care.
The pun.
After that explosion, that's when he decides, I've had enough of this.
That's
He
too
punched
far.
through the windshield.
Yes.
And grabs the wheel.
Yes, he punches through the windshield and pulls the car
It's
over.
and the typical bad guy shooting through the roof.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Literally like, well, there's not a lot of surface area to shoot at here, but I'm gonna miss you with every
Only
single
right
bullet.
here.
I'll make sure
Only
to
right
shoot
here.
in a straight line.
Yeah.
Dude.
He finally slams on the brakes, and Jackson rolls off the hood, and he's standing about 20, 30 feet in front of the cab now, and he stands up, and the guy's got a gun, but he's like, no, don't shoot me. Let's do this like a man. Come and get me.
I'm not armed.
Come and get me. Come on.
He loses his mind.
Yeah.
You don't ever see him scream like that really for the
No.
rest of the whole movie.
He goes for it, man.
Yeah.
Dude floors the cab. This man flips over
16 feet in the
a
air.
standing front flip over a taxi. It's incredible.
Yeah.
The
It's
only
insane.
time I ever saw someone do something like this was with a person. I remember watching American Gladiators, the game where you got to get the football. That was like basically a football game. And this guy is running with the football, and dude comes up to tackle him, and he front flips over the guy and keeps going. But that's a person and a person. This is a Buick, okay, or
Yeah.
whatever it was.
I mean, those 80s cars were big.
They were boats, man.
They were boats.
and he
Even-
effortlessly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Chance Boudreau hit the roof of the car when he did a flip off a motorcycle.
But he was at least coming at 40 miles
right.
an hour.
He at least had the momentum.
Right.
Carl Weathers just said nope, and Mario brothered right over that car.
And then the car
Flip.
launches.
He's so distracted. He's like, whoa, he just flipped over my car.
Yeah. Right.
the air his taxi gets when it runs over a hidden ramp in front of another car, it lands on the ceiling of an auto body shop.
Auto body shop.
That's convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and then he
Perfect.
just
Dude.
We'll
pull it
just
in.
fix this all
We
up.
can fix this.
More
And it's
problem.
fine.
You have to
went
call a
through the
building
roof.
body shop though to
Yeah.
fix the building.
Remember in Gone in 60 Seconds, it's my favorite part of the movie. But when the guy gets hit by the wrecking ball and
Yes.
that car gets pushed through,
Yes.
and then the
Yeah.
cops pull up and they're like, "Are you okay? Because you just went through a wall right there."
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah.
Hey,
And,
are you all right? You good? Because you just went through a wall.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what I was thinking of
Yep.
when this guy just casually ninjas out of that car when action finally walks up because he was gone quickly.
Bro, it is bad.
This is insane.
And this wasn't
Yeah.
bad
it's
enough.
insanity.
Sydney wants to do another song, guys.
Yes.
Is that- okay.
Yay.
Because now
This
action
song's-
finally goes to Joey Elite's club.
Was this in her contract that she gets to perform not just like snippets, 2 full-length songs
Yeah.
It had to be.
Had to be.
in the movie?
Strange.
Yes.
Very long. Very bad.
Because she was.
Me no like.
How does it go again?
me.
Undress me.
Kiss me.
Yeah.
Baby, undress me.
Wow, you did it better than she did.
It's got that slapping bass line to
Yeah.
it. Burn, dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
You like these-
They're catchy.
You liked this? You liked the song too?
No, but they got caught in my head. I was wandering around the house after the movie, like, "Can you kiss me?" My wife's like, "No."
Look, as I was pulling up to the forge, I was listening to this song,
Okay.
and some old lady coming out of the Mexican grocery store over there,
Yeah.
she literally side-eyed me.
Of course
You have this on in your car?
This happens to you every time you go anywhere.
Dude, they got the whole soundtrack on YouTube.
I'm
Dang.
really concerned for your mental well-being.
I got the Blu-ray right here.
There's a couple of scenes we got to get through here. Peter Delaplane goes home.
Yeah.
Sharon Stone's waiting in the bedroom. Tells him
Cartier
everything.
has cleaned the 357.
That's right.
This,
Yes.
Yeah. She tells him everything.
yep. This is one of the best parts of the movie to me, I guess, like as shots go for movies.
Okay, so as
Because
it's filmed, yes.
where she puts her hand down his back and you see the gun for the
Right.
first hug, and then she goes back and goes, and then comes back and
What's going on?
yeah, and then walks back and her hand goes down again and the gun's gone. I was like, that's neat.
That's
No,
pretty good.
It is shot well.
I did think it was funny. He's like, well, that's fine, honey, as long as you didn't tell Action Jackson.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I did.
And she's just like,
Action Jackson.
well, I had lunch with him today.
Yeah.
Have you seen his quads?
You would have eaten with him too. It's fine. And not for nothing, honey, but your guy was trying to kill me because I heard him talking about murder. So I had to go with somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry. And she gets shot.
Sharon Stone. Bye-bye.
See you later, Sharon. And he shoots her from an unknown angle, kisses her, lays down on her body.
Yeah.
blood on her as he turns over, no blood on him. He stands up and goes, gun works, which is pretty badass.
Because
like,
the 80s
No, it was the way that because he says he's going to test it in the morning. He's like,
standard
works fine.
issued
Yep.
80s bad guy blood repellent
right.
costume.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes,
That's, okay.
that's what
But
it
I
is.
never got caught.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Well, all right. So she's dead. AJ, as I've been calling him, Action Jackson, goes and meets.
This is the first time you've said that.
No, this is what.
Way wrong answer, AJ.
Thing. Yeah, okay. AJ goes and meets Sydney's bodyguard as he's trying to get back into the room, to see her. Because after the horrible musical number, he wants to go back to her dressing room. And here, Mr. Ed standing there and tries to get past him. He's a move, punches him in the stomach. Nothing, no reaction. It was like when Superman got punched by Ben Affleck, and
Yep.
doesn't even move. You're a real big guy.
You're a really big guy,
Just normal conversation.
Yeah.
dude. I love this scene.
He says he's 270, and I was like, that's not that big.
Do you mean 2070?
I mean, for your height, that's pretty good.
That's fine.
I don't know. Didn't you mean like 370? I think you meant 370, right?
He's like, you're a big boy. Then he throws an Apollo Creed jab to his face.
The face.
Eats this jab like it's lunch. Okay.
He smiles.
He said, I bet if I hit you again, you're going to throw my little body right into that wall over there.
I was thinking about it.
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it, but it goes against all my Muslim beliefs.
Right. And so then Carl Weathers just tackles him
says-
through the wall.
He's like, how much you make? Oh, you're really big. You must make a lot of money. He's like, yeah, just enough to. Yes, I work nights, just enough to get through med
it's not
school.
through medical
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Right. That's what they all say.
And turns out my Muslim beliefs only last about 20 more minutes.
That's right.
So,
He tackles him through the door, knocks him out on the because eats a table, like an edge of a table as he goes in, and Sydney is just shooting
She's about to.
the drugs, up.
doing drug
Doing
things.
the drugs.
doing
Yeah.
the.
So she just
doing the
giggles
dope.
when she sees this, and she's like, "Take me out somewhere after what just happened." Sure, no problem. Like,
I need to
literally
hump someone's leg.
grabs
You've
her
got
back.
a leg.
It's midnight, and
Right.
I haven't given anyone a wet willy yet.
You want to go out? They just left. They're in the car, and she's already complaining that he hasn't banged her yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
She is like the way she's coming on to him though, when she's just like, and like she licks her fingers,
Yeah,
and
puts it in
shoves
his
them in her
ear.
ears. I was so disgusted. I was
That's
like,
her move?
I would not.
It's-
no.
It's worked on somebody, or it wouldn't be her go-to.
Who did that work on?
No,
She was-
one.
You got problems.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was willing to give her a chance. When I read the IMDb thing, like
Yeah.
the song was bad, the first song, and I was
Yeah.
like, nope, she doesn't have the sultry thing down. I was like, okay, if she's gonna seduce him, we'll see what she's got for moves, whatever.
Right.
Nothing. She
Not
has
even.
nothing. This is worse than like a 7th grader trying to like flirt.
Don't
Like,
you have a nickname?
so awkward?
Some people call me Action. Action? What? No woman ever gave you that name.
Yeah.
I see no action.
Now she's attacking his masculinity.
How
Yeah.
the level of thirst for not even knowing this man. Just like I'm just wanted to talk to you for a second, and she's like, no, but we're gonna right. We can talk, but I really
But your
want to
pants
do
are
it right
still on.
now.
We
Right.
can't talk
Yeah,
with your pants
exactly.
on.
They get up to Action Jackson's house and they realize there's a police crime scene there because they planted Sharon Stone's body at Action Jackson's place.
Yep.
And he turns on the scanner and hears that, and she's complaining about that. And then we get this super creepy line from the coroner when he lifts up the blanket on her dead body and says, "So many hot women, and I got to see them like this."
All
the
like
time."
this, yeah.
Like,
Doesn't stop me, but I gotta see them all like this. I hate to do it.
I mean,
but, yeah.
do what you got to do.
It's a lonely job.
Bro. So,
Another
Oh, go ahead.
Another absolutely not gratuitous scene of Sharon Stone's boobs.
This
Yeah.
is necessary. This more necessary, I think, than the other one.
You
probably.
think?
Right?
Just one last one. Just like, okay. It was just so the corner could be like, yeah. I wanted to see him.
Yeah, buddy. This is the fifth time you showed us her body,
Yeah.
Carl. We know. Yeah,
right
but
here.
did you see what happened down
you
here?
see
It's pretty bad.
Look at this waist.
I better show you.
Wait.
guys.
Did he also shoot her? Oh, I'll check. Let me check again.
There might be another scratch over here. Let's
Do you
take a
know if he
look.
choked her? I'll check. I got it.
I'll check. I didn't take pictures yet. You're not the crime scene photographer.
These ones.
No, for me. Camera one, camera two, camera one, camera two.
I got him in.
Those bad boys are locked away.
Oh, I love this job. He whistles while he works. Yeah.
Oh no.
Good God.
Hold on, I gotta blow out the candle since you guys are here.
Okay. Sorry. Oh, we all have to go? I'll stay. No? Okay.
I'm
you
just
need-
gonna wrap up some stuff here.
Listen, if you don't have room in the truck for this body, I'll take it. I mean, I'll take it. I'll just bring it. Do you need it tonight? Do you need it? Or is there what's the time limit? I'm just saying because you guys seem busy and I'm not doing anything. So I'm just saying.
I have a freezer. I'm a fridge.
I brought some blankets and a picnic basket, and I'm just seeing if I'll bring it. So okay, no, we're good. Okay, I won't. I'm good.
No, I was just trying to be helpful.
Listen, I'm here for you. I'm here. It's let's
You called
help me
me.
help you.
Called me.
I don't want to
And
be.
now you're gonna tell me how to do my job. We
I don't tell you
traditionally-
how to stand here and ask to look at the body again.
We don't
Like,
traditionally.
see?
We don't.
You're gonna move this? You want to move this again?
We don't.
Are you
tradi-
talking about moving this? Oh, this?
I don't traditionally see you do a pap smear post-mortem. Well, we're just checking all the boxes here.
We don't know what the cause of death was.
Listen, I'm just seeing when you guys want to move this body, this one right here.
All right.
I'm not ruling out anything at this point. No matter
I have
how
room-
uncomfortable this gets.
So making sure it wasn't breast cancer.
I've checked for lungs, and it turns out she's going to be just fine. She will not die from breast cancer. I'm worried about this gunshot wound, though. This might be a thing.
It's gonna be bad.
She's going to make it through breast cancer, but this gunshot wound is going to be tough.
right.
tough.
Wow. I want this to be a movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, they go. Jackson takes Vanity to her place, and she thinks they're going to bang there. She's like, "Now you're talking. Let's go back."
let's go.
Can you
my
tell me
point.
why they go
Somebody
there?
should introduce the Vanity and the Corner to each other. I think it would have been a great couple, right?
Yeah. I don't understand why they went to her house.
Nothing makes sense as far as why
because
they do anything.
all they do is go in there and she's like, I have the munchies. Don't turn on anything. Don't open anything.
Don't open the
because this is
refrigerator.
obviously the Death Palace. But I brought you here. And why did they go there if
The
he
phone
knew that it was
rings.
going to be?
He's like, "Your phone always ring in the middle of the night?"
Yeah,
like,
actually a
"Wow,
lot.
okay."
I'm a huge whore.
Gotta
do
make a living
drugs.
some way.
I'm a junkie that has sex for money. Of course my phone rings in the middle of the night.
So then her apartment blows up, but they're both fine. It's like a Wile E. Coyote situation, right? Okay, they just do the
Even
old.
the glass was on fire.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
The glass was burning.
bling, bling, you know,
Yeah.
and they're fine. They run off to another hotel. There's an ex-boxer who runs a really nice place, Kid Sable.
Do you know who this
Spelled-
is?
The actor?
Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't know his name.
Laryngitis
you
Johnson.
know-
I've seen him in other things.
He is the garbage truck driver at the beginning of the Terminator.
That's what it is.
Yes.
And he's been in a ton of other stuff. too. Yeah. I
This
love it.
hotel could have been the same hotel used for. Oh crap! What movie?
Basket Case.
Yes.
Yes, it was
right?
the Basket
It had
Case
the
Hotel.
same
Yes.
vibe.
100%. Took me just a second, but I knew exactly
Sorry.
what I was
Basket
talking
Case.
about.
Totally.
No.
Yeah.
The horror movie?
Yeah, the horror
Yeah.
movie.
Oh,
yeah.
Seen
I've
it?
I have not.
They go up to the president. The presidential suite. They're upstairs. She lays down on the bed. He's really not been nice to her, and he goes, "Why you a no good junkie? To forget, okay? To forget about my whole life. Now one more chance. Want to screw or not?" It was like, seriously?
She wants it bad.
Okay. He's like, "No." She's like,
Pass.
well, then good night. Yeah, right. And goes to sleep.
But did anyone get Waterboy vibes from the guy at the front desk?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The wine.
I understand a word
100%.
that dude said.
The
Do you know who this
100%.
is? I don't know. The laryngitis monster.
He was great.
He would. No, I like Kid Sable a lot. This is the part, and I don't know why I didn't realize it until my second watch through, but nothing they do really helps or makes any sense, because the next thing he's like, I have an informant. His name is Papa Doc down at the pool hall. I'm going to go see him. Just randomly, he might know something because he's a bad guy in the city and they all know each other. Right? Yeah. Okay.
The second
The Auto
guy
Workers
is
Association.
totally the
Dude.
one you should go to first. but I want to see you go fight that guy.
Papa Doc in Detroit, 8 Mile.
100%.
Yeah.
8 Mile.
I was like, where's
Yeah.
the rest of the free
Where's
world?
the wreck of yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Clarence
I
has
was like, oh,
real
crap.
nice parents.
Clarence has real nice parents.
Falcon is in this movie? Hey, Anthony Mackie. I can't wait to see little Anthony Mackie, young Anthony Mackie in here.
Yeah, you take a Hulk punch.
No. But he goes downstairs, and we do have a couple of, stunt guys that we see in all kinds of things. Like one of the dude, like the Hawaiian looking dude was in Hard to Kill.
Yeah.
He also got killed in Iron Eagle 3 by Girl Rambo, whatever her name is. Rachel McLish, I think is her
Was
name.
he the guy in
at
Last
you.
Boy Scout that takes Bruce Willis out in the alley and he tells the your mama jokes too?
That was the other guy. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But he's in this
But he's
movie.
in the scene.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the dude, so basically he goes into there, he's like, I'm looking for Papa Doc. And he's just like, well, come back here, They bring him into the back, and he's like, he's in this cabinet. And Carl
Dude.
Weathers is like, cool.
Seems legit.
Doesn't he say he's like, what is it? A
Secret passage?
Secret passageway?
Yeah.
What is this?
What, we going to Narnia?
Freaking Chronicles of Narnia here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He opens
Lion,
it
the
up.
Witch, and the Wardrobe. All
Right.
right.
There is a jar
Nope.
with a man's nuts in it
Dude. Just freaking.
that he touches with his fingers.
And he no sells
Picks
it.
up the jar and giggles.
He's like,
Nothing in there was funny.
I
at
asked you to
all.
see somebody, and you showed me a jar of nuts. That's a pretty good joke.
Yeah. Good one.
You guys are all right.
You guys are all right, where's Papa Doc?
Are you hanging out with the coroner?
My God.
This is great, though.
That is Papa Doc. That's his nuts.
Oh, that is Papa Doc.
We have his teeth, but that's in the teeth cabinet. Right? We got different cabinets for different body parts.
He's actually turning into the fly in the other room. So we got his dick in a jar. We got his ears over there. Papa Doc's having a whole night.
We'll put him back together.
Yeah, he's fine.
He'll be fine.
We call him Humpty Dumpty now.
He comes out. They pat him. He gets patted down by Juwanna Mann. Okay. Yeah. Right. This I love this guy. Every time he pops up,
He's a Street Fighter too, right?
He was DJ in Street
Yeah.
Fighter. He was obviously the star of Juwanna Mann. He was the dude in. He was one of the dudes in Life. You ever see Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Long, yeah. Mhm.
He's been in tons of
Time
stuff.
ago.
Love this guy. He's using slang that even Action Jackson doesn't know.
Right.
Something about tap dancing on his lips. And
Yes.
So he's talking about like, you're going to blow all of us. I'm pretty sure is what he's saying.
Yeah, I think Airheads took some of this stuff and used it in that movie.
They did too. I think because then you're going to blow us and then we're cutting your balls off.
They're strangely obsessed with cutting nuts off in this
Right.
gang.
They're just starting. They only have one
their thing,
set.
man.
Starting their collection.
It's weird. Hey guys, listen. What should we collect from all the people we kill?
Look,
How about teeth? I don't know. A lot of people are doing teeth
People
these
are doing
days.
teeth.
all
Yeah.
the other gangs have a thing. We need to have our thing. Ours is balls.
We're the wet bandits.
Right. Is the wet bandits taken? Yes. Okay, fine. How about the ball snippers? Yeah, I love it. Can we have a big weird knife and only one?
And so when the cops get them there, now we know each and every person whose balls got chopped off.
How do you know it was the ball snippers? Well, there's a cabinet full of them.
He's like, I told you we shouldn't have kept the balls.
I was gonna make a soup.
Oh my gosh, dude. And
Rocky Mountain.
at one point, he pulls on everybody. He's like, it's hot dog time. He says.
It's weird.
So they've also got a
Dude,
line they
this-
say before they snip the balls, right?
Yes.
Someone pops out of the kitchen. Hot dog time?
Yeah, they should have had T-shirts like "It's hot dog time."
Next time before we do it, after Papa Doc's like moaning and writhing on the ground, he's like, next time I'm gonna say it's hot dog time.
Yeah.
Before, because I can't do it.
Because the hot dogs.
It was hot dog
It's a
time.
joke about the penis.
Yeah, he tells them all afterwards. You know how like you think of something to say after it happened, and you're like, "Shit, I should have said that." Well, I got one.
I got one.
Next time we're
Next
cutting
time.
balls off, let's say it's hot dog time.
Okay, the next guy that walks through the
Right.
store, we're gonna cut him off, and you can say this.
Can't.
Yeah.
But we can't keep taking their hot dogs.
There it is. There we did it.
I have to, or they will riot
Yeah.
if we don't. All right. This is where Vanity breaks into the room and saves his life, basically. Right? Does the Samuel L. Jackson Die Hard 3 thing where it says this guy's from Bellevue.
all the way down to Bellevue. Yeah.
Bellevue.
From Die Hard with
Yeah.
a Vengeance.
Right.
And I don't
Yeah.
get like how the other guys in the room see her come in and don't go, what are you doing in here?
Right.
You don't, it's not like she goes to that club or anything, right?
No, she's just, they don't know who she is.
Yeah. She
right?
just comes in and goes, oh, hey,
obviously
Right.
that's my brother.
You're the singer, right?
Oh, I saw you.
I think I saw your nipples
You
one
sucked
night.
my cousin's dick.
Baby, undress me. That was you, right?
That was you.
Yeah.
Sucked my
Oh,
head all
she's
week.
terrible. Yeah. Don't kill her. That's sad.
Yeah. We don't want, she's got it rough enough.
She buys enough heroin from
So
us.
he goes into the crazy preacher thing.
Yeah,
Like,
starts doing the crazy
even
preacher thing.
Sells it way more than Bruce Willis did.
Yes,
Because
he
Bruce
does.
Willis was more like kind of, what do you say? I'm the king of my own mind. I don't remember what
I'm
he
the
says.
king. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something. And this guy starts going, pray, let me put my healing hands upon you. And he's going through the whole bit and then just beats the shit out of every single one of these guys.
You know it's
Why didn't he just do that in the first place?
Because we needed this awesome scene.
I remember
Well-
thinking, this is Action Jackson. Why is he struggling with these three?
Why? My biggest thing with maybe this movie is, and I can talk about it now, is how come the action man doesn't action as much as you would think he should?
Not really.
Because it should be more like, I'll do it if I have to, man.
Right.
Because
Do it if I have to, Jackson.
Yeah, if there's nothing else to
It's
do,
got a great
Jackson.
ring to it.
Yeah.
That's the sequel.
Right. If I got time,
Action
Jackson.
Jackson 2. Well, if I have to.
Right.
Yeah, I could see him being like just walking through. He should just walk past.
Should have
like,
tore a trail through the city of Detroit, right? If he's action, like if
yeah.
they had built up this thing where he's been sidelined, he's been desked, he doesn't even get a gun because what happened? Like with The Rock when he finally gets a gun in the rundown, right? Like
Yeah.
he never can use a gun again, and then when you finally take the chains off, it should be pandemonium through the city until they get the guy.
Well, this is what I guess this is what I mean is we're talking about an 80s action movie here.
Right.
We're not talking about like some high level 90s
No.
action.
No. It's an
whatever
exploitation
burning.
film,
yeah.
right.
Like, and he doesn't even punch anyone until this part of the movie, which
Right.
is like an hour in almost.
Yeah.
It is.
Really.
well, I
No,
guess
I mean, he punches Ed, but
No, it is. It's an hour into the movie.
Yeah.
And after they beat these guys up, they walk out and they're like, so where should we go next? They've gotten nowhere.
Right.
And there's 30 minutes left in this movie.
yeah.
And the plot hasn't gone anywhere.
What was that whole detour to Papa Doc was worthless.
It was.
It did nothing.
And do you know how you know? Because they go back to laryngitis and he goes, well, go see this other lady. And
Yeah.
then he sits in a chair and she expo dumps him into the rest of the movie.
Dude, this is like he says like we should have. Oh yeah, we just tried to go see Papa Doc, and Kid Sable does. He says he's like, well, if you had just asked me, I would have told you his testicles are at a pool hall down the block.
Yeah.
Bro.
And he's like,
You should go see this other lady that
see-
smokes a lot and stuff
like,
at a
go
barbershop.
see Dee Dee at Dee Dee's
And I
hair
was-
salon.
it's
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I've given so much crap to people catching the news they need to further the plot from the news and all kinds of random sources, but this one takes the cake. I love that actress. She sold the crap out of it. I mean, she was given one thing and was like, this is your scene. And she did the best she could, but it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This barber knows everything about the AWA, and some of the things that she tells him wasn't even stuff you would just hear about. You would have had to have been in the trunk of their cars to know some of the things that, like, she was stalking them.
I think she wrote the movie.
Honestly, it was.
She knew enough information
She's
to
the
get him to the
mastermind.
end.
She's
Right.
Peter Delafame's mastermind.
That's right.
She's the Darth Sidious.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
It's the only logical
She's the
explanation.
Emperor Palpatine. to-
She's the one at the top of the pyramid that is ultimately pulling the strings on the whole thing.
Soon we'll reveal ourselves to the
and
action
it's
Jackson.
all it's done in 1 minute.
That's right.
Of
Yeah.
screen time. Because, like you said, we are past the hour mark.
No, yeah.
And there's 30 minutes left. Now, what are we going to do for a climax? Well, let's add a barber that's just going to get us there, like you said.
Let's go. We got to wrap
Seriously.
this
It's
up.
it's one take. It's one camera setup. It literally pans from her, pans as she's doing her,
Yeah.
dancing thing, and she's like smoking her clove.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's like, I hear from this and this and that and this.
Carl Weathers said it took him 3.5 months to shoot this movie.
Yeah.
Because they were so confused. Everyone was confused about what the hell the movie was about or what was happening. They couldn't even follow their own script.
Yeah.
And so they got to the end and literally were like, we don't know what to do. And this was the crappy solution that they came up with. Just have somebody tell him everything he needs to know so we can get to the end.
Well, that makes 100% of sense. Because this scene, when I saw it, was like, why didn't they go there first?
Yeah.
Weird.
This lady knows everything.
It's not noticeable at all.
All right. Sydney is he goes back after meeting with the hairdresser, goes back to the hotel, and Sydney's not in the room because there's a pusher upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. X, or is that what he call himself? I don't remember.
Is this Billy?
It's literally the next guy from Predator.
Yep.
Yes.
It's Billy Land,
Billy.
Sonny Landham, aka Billy from Predator, is in the process of shooting drugs into Sydney's arm when Action Jackson kicks the door in,
Yeah.
and we get a Dylan and Billy reunion
Yeah.
in this tiny, crappy hotel room.
Dylan Billy
Didn't
fight.
Yeah.
this dude like actually lose his mind or something?
Yeah, well, he was uninsurable. I mean, a lot of movies wouldn't even have him on seconds. He was a legit crazy person.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was when
But it also makes
saw
his
this
performances really great.
Well,
because you're like, that guy's nuts.
plays crazy really good.
Yeah,
I thought they're like he got in legal trouble or something like that.
he
right?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this was, but it was still cool to see him.
Oh, yeah.
And this was, again, 1 year after Predator, and they have this freaking fight where he comes at him with the syringe full of drugs and ends up stuck in the wall.
Yep.
Then he's fighting with a knife where Carl ends up sitting on a table, like having to go left,
oh, boy.
had to go right.
Oh, not to mention,
Yeah.
just before we keep going with this scene,
Sure.
when they walk out of the billiards hall,
Yeah.
there are Predator posters on the wall.
Are there really?
Yeah.
Are there?
Nice.
Oh, I didn't even notice, dude. That's
Yep.
awesome.
There are a bunch of them on the wall, just like, remember Predator?
Yeah.
These guys are from Predator. You like Predator?
Do you think they'll get it?
Yeah.
What they should have had is Shane Black from Predator write the damn script for Action Jackson. That's what they really
Did you
needed.
see that other Predator that he made, though?
You
You like that one?
Yes.
No,
I
one's-
like it.
The only
Yes.
person that's
I
they're
liked
going to
it.
hate me for saying this. No one's batting 1,000 except for Tarantino from a writing
Oh my God.
from a writing standpoint. Okay, most guys are going to have a couple clunkers, but 90% of the scripts that Shane Black writes are golden.
I don't mind that Predator movie either.
Okay,
As a
I haven't seen it because I
really like
really?
I heard things and I was like, I didn't want to sully my reputation of Shane
Don't
Black.
listen to it. I loved it.
All right,
Which one is it?
everything Shane
The
Black writes,
Predator.
I'm like,
Love is
love it.
deep. I'm not sure love is where I'd follow on.
I loved it. I thought it was
The Nice Guys,
Yeah,
incredible script.
awesome.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang,
Awesome,
incredible
incredible.
script. Even Iron Man 3 is my favorite non solo movie that's not the first Iron Man. You know, and underrated because when that came out everybody was so angry, but the script is actually legit.
Yeah. They didn't like what they did with the Mandarin.
Right. Lethal Weapon,
Long Kiss Goodnight.
Long Kiss Goodnight.
Yeah.
The dude's scripts are
No, he's great.
unassailable. Great, great, great. Anytime I see Shane Black,
He
wrote
did the
this-
Long Kiss Goodnight too.
Oh yeah, dang.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, dude can write his ass off.
Yeah.
And then they had him in Predator to punch up that script that somebody else wrote, and they're like, "We'll keep you around, but you got to help us rewrite this thing." And so he even had uncredited rewrites on that. So his fingers have touched some of the best movies ever made.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so
they should have brought him in.
Why didn't Carl Weathers go, "Hey Shane, we don't understand our own movie, and we need your help. Can you get us the hell out of this mess?"
We've gotten to boobies, and that's about as far as we got.
Yeah, we need your help, man.
All right.
Please. Anyway, let's get through this. All right, he's fighting with
Billy.
Billy. Thank you.
Yep. Sorry.
Ultimately, I liked Sydney's commentary. She's sitting on the bed, and he pulls on. He's like, "Oh, don't do that. That's a bad career move."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fighting Action Jackson. He's beating up Billy. Finally, grabs the syringe of drugs out of the wall. Action Jackson does, stabs it into his neck or shoulder. area.
Yeah.
It's his shoulder.
And just he's like,
Shoulder blade.
but his face.
"There's something in this syringe, and it ain't no drugs."
Something's in there waiting for me.
It's in the trees.
I'm having some fun.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. All right, so he shoots him up with drugs and then throws him out the window, over the
Into-
alley, and into another building.
Yes, I
Yes.
like that.
You know how much strength you gotta have to lawn dart a human through two windows and across an alley?
That was a cool shot.
No, it was great.
I loved it.
But I was like, damn, Carl.
Certainly enough to pull away from two guys trying to cut your nuts off.
Right, that's why, again, what?
And you're
And
outrunning a car.
And to
essentially.
somersault over a taxi cab. But,
Yeah.
you know, we'll pick and choose.
You need to take a
His
long rest in
superpowers,
between.
I suppose. Yeah.
The cops spot him because Biff and the other cop are down in the alley, and they're all looking for him because they think he's
Because
killer.
at this point, he's wanted for murder, right?
And they see him, they run up the stairs, but they jump out the window into his car.
Into
Okay.
the blow up
Into
mattress in the
blow-up
car.
right? Because a
Yeah.
car is, notoriously forgiving for jumping into from a height.
Yes.
Those are
It
really
had the-
soft landing.
hood up,
The-
so
yeah.
you-
Oh,
Yeah, right. The soft top.
That's-
It was a
that's-
soft top,
yeah,
not a
it's
hard
Really
top.
soft.
It's an ear mattress top.
No, you could literally see when they land into it. You see like the foam and the blow up mattress go like
Oh,
out
yeah.
the sides.
But then there's this weird scene where he convinces Sydney to help him by driving really fast at a wall. And I'm like, hasn't she already agreed to help you at this point?
I don't know what they're doing at this point.
Right?
He's trying to say like she's holding out on him or something.
Right.
But it's yeah.
Because after this, all she does is she goes into the bar to get O'Rooney to follow her to this old factory or whatever to have a meeting with what he thinks is Peter Delaplane, but it's really Action Jackson. Right?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
the building, and she brings the
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, again, every scene makes very little sense from a writing standpoint. There's some incredible things in this movie, but the script, my God.
This is where really, I mean, in this last bit here, it comes
Yeah.
off the tracks
Right,
so bad.
right. He's waiting for you at the top of this old factory, and this O'Rooney's is like, okay. But he gets up there, and it's Action Jackson, but he's got to come down on
soaking wet.
he's got to come down on a chain just for dramatic purposes, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
rappel down there to talk to you.
Shows up an hour early.
You're not the bad guy. No, I'm not. Yeah.
He shows up an hour early. He's like, okay, how do I want to do my intros?
I could just stand. It's like the dude in Hackers, right? I
Yeah.
could just walk up and take this disc, but no, I'll descend from.
I'm gonna
Pulls
do
on
I
the
use a
chain.
rolly
Oh,
chair
no, I
and
know
spin
what I'm
around and say I was expecting him? No.
Perfect.
I need to be high up because I think a helicopter is going to show up pretty soon, and I don't want. There's no reason for that to happen if I'm not high up in the air.
Those silent choppers didn't even hear it
Yeah,
coming, man.
those stealth choppers.
Jeez.
Yeah, dang.
He's like, all right, I know there's a party at Delaplane's. What's going down to that party? He's gonna kill Foss, who's the head of the AWA, and he's gonna put me in charge of the AWA because I'm in his pocket, and that's what's gonna happen. And then just at that point, action! You hear her outside, and Vanity's been captured, and there's a stealth helicopter there that none of them heard, and all
Right.
the Huey Lewis and the news are all there, and all of those
all
guys,
standing
they're
there.
all standing there, and you're like, well,
Like the god dang surf ninjas just
right.
at the bottom of the stairs.
It
like,
was.
Oh, yeah.
SWAT
Hey,
ninjas.
we're good.
chain him up and take his clothes off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why?
I see the muscles.
I hate that red shirt. You can't wear red shirts.
At first, I thought the same thing. Like, I just want to see it.
Yep.
But then they do have to put the red shirt on the other guy to pose as Action Jackson as the
Yeah.
sniper at the
I
party.
guess.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
That is giving this a lot of credit.
Yeah. Okay. They.
The total line drop from Craig T. Nelson too. When he's like, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
When he's like, yeah, we're just gonna make him look like you because everyone at this party,
They all think you look.
they
the
all
same.
think you look the same.
Right.
That was a good one.
what
Oh,
the-
Craig is doing work here. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Craig is
Yeah.
doing work. But it's I'm just keep wear this button out. Since you're going to die anyway, I might as well tell you the entire plot. How are you going to kill him? Good question. I'm going to make him look like you, and we're going to put him in the tree, and everyone's going to think it's you, and they'll identify you from your dental records.
I half expected him to be like, didn't you get this from the lady at the barber shop? Didn't you ask her all this stuff already?
Right?
She
I
knows
thought
everything.
You knew this.
Yeah.
I work for her, actually. And even his plan even includes murdering his son who's in prison, like in
Yeah.
the shower.
People slip in the shower all the time.
Because he's worried about the kid ratting him out or something.
He
I don't
does
know.
say people slipping, yeah, and he talks about how he murdered his first wife
Right.
and all that other stuff.
And then he Dr. Evils him.
Yes.
What do you want from me, Delaplane? I want you to die.
You to die
And I'll assume it happens. Goodbye.
because I'm gonna leave.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just going to assume it all went to plan. What?
Yeah. I don't
No,
care.
I'm going to leave him with 2 inept guards.
Even though I'm the
That's I'm going to wear this button out, you know?
yeah, he's leaving them with the baddest people on the planet, right?
Right. The Invisible Men. Huey Lewis.
Oh,
and the
that's
News.
right. Because there was the whole expo dump about who these people actually are too.
Right.
Right.
Because Dee knew
Yes.
all about them.
Yes.
They're invisible,
The
but this
invisible-
hairdresser knows everything
Yes.
about you.
Well, she does
That's
their
because she
hair.
does that dude's hair. Wait, I thought too that what's her face's band was was this group of bad guys because the bass player
Yeah.
has long blonde hair like
He
the main
does.
kicker guy.
Might as well. No, he just saw that guy. He's like, I want the bass player.
Man,
Yep,
that would have been a plot twist.
that would have been a
He
plot
goes up
twist.
to the bass player. Where do you get your hair done? I get it done at Didi's.
I get it at Didi's.
That's how she knows everything.
That would have explained something.
They all refer each other to her.
Right.
Okay.
Did you
So
tell
tell
her
me
that
what's
part?
going on with your life when she cuts her hair and they all just spill all the evil plot details to her.
Well,
You
we were on
know-
this boat,
That's
and my buddy
is
set it to 13 seconds, and I told him that's not long enough.
Right.
It's just a really stressful work environment.
No.
You
Being
would
a
not
henchman.
believe what Bon Jovi did today.
Gosh.
Being a henchman is very hard sometimes. And sometimes they're like, we should set this
Yeah.
timer for only 10 seconds. I'm like, I don't think that's enough.
Peter Delaplane doesn't even ask me how my day went
Yeah.
after
And
I
he's our
murdered.
boss.
Okay,
We work for him.
and so much for HR. Okay,
You know, a thank you would be really nice.
Right?
Brian is always talking about his damn butterfly knives, and he needs to just leave them at home.
Yeah.
cut to Brian.
He couldn't
and
take
everyone.
over.
No one asked how my butterfly knife flip
No.
was going.
I had to make my own grenade launcher. For
I could
this,
flip
you
a
know?
butterfly knife.
Do you know how much PVC pipe it took for me to
ripped all
make this grenade
I
launcher?
ripped all my plumbing out of my
Yeah.
apartment.
It took a long time to find something to make a trigger out of.
You think Peter Delaplane can take over the AWA and replace the president with somebody else without our help?
Yeah. We had to set up a light, and then we all had to stand in front of it like Queen, and nobody noticed. Nobody noticed except for that stupid guy on Bad Movies Rule.
That's right. That's right. I was in his apartment in a wig.
Right.
And he didn't even look at me.
It's not that easy to one punch a woman to death. Okay.
Yeah. Do you know how hard it is to face punch someone through a glass window and kill her? She was in Goonies. She's a national treasure. And I punched her dead.
She's dead because of me.
But anyways, I
can live
digress.
with that.
Could you just take a little off the sides? Just a little, though, because my hair is amazing.
Hot towel, please.
They all have great hair.
I've got some split ends.
Huey Lewis comes over to this chained up, shirtless Action Jackson and says, "Get the gas. It's time for a barbecue." And he's got this like industrial blowtorch.
Yeah. Tell me when it hurts. Which is also a flamethrower,
It feels
I
like a
guess?
popsicle, from what I understand.
Yeah. God dang it, Thomas Jane.
You're gonna smell burning meat,
Yeah.
but then you won't feel anything.
Yeah,
Just gonna feel cold.
But instead, we get the Nick at Night intro. I'm Mr. Ed.
Dum da dum dum.
From above the rafters.
Why is he a good guy now?
Because they needed him to be. They're grasping at straws here,
Yeah.
scripturally speaking. Okay, they're grasping at straw, and
You're
then we'll
better
just
to look at
and
than
then
to
we'll have
think.
Mr. Ed come out of the ceiling.
Yeah, because he's a climber, right? Like he's gonna be the guy to just shimmy up
Hey,
a rafter.
He was the
Silently.
He's
counterweight.
270. Okay.
yeah, I guess he's only
counterweight to
270.
Carl Weathers.
Right. And then why you have to say that stupid thing? Like
Oh, and you hear about a paint job? And then,
Yeah,
he's got
exactly.
another one right in the holster right after the "Hi,
Hello.
Mr. Ed."
Yeah.
Bang bang.
I'm
Is that-
Mr. Ed.
That's what he says, right? He says, "Hello, I'm Mr. Ed."
As he
Yeah,
drops
as
from
he
the
drops.
ceiling.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I got all stuck on at the end with what's his face, Albert,
Yeah.
the kid that kept passing out. Is like,
Yeah.
so you just needed people to get the last action scene to move along.
haven't even-
100%.
We need some
Yeah.
more help for action, I guess.
Oh yeah.
But this is where Ed starts throwing down.
Yeah.
He
His
spray
Muslim
paints.
beliefs are out the window.
Out the window because it's 20 minutes later and now he doesn't care about those or his doctorate, I guess.
He spray paints this dude in the face, goes over, burns the chains off of while Action Jackson kicks Huey Lewis. He burns his chains off, goes back, punches paint guy into an electrical conduit, and he's like, screaming. and
Trope
that
to
whole-
anything that has to do with
Yeah.
electricity. If you touch
Yeah.
it, you're going to die and set on fire.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And my daughter was like, just step away from it. Like, why is he staying? I'm like, I don't know how electricity works. I don't know if you can do that.
I am relatively sure that they're not that dangerous. That it would be a huge code violation
Yeah.
if you got I gotta just touch this button here and
It was
If
the
anyone,
80s, man.
if anyone
Yeah.
bumped into that thing, that's what was going to happen to them.
right. And they didn't even have cones. There wasn't even like we're having some
Yellow
electrical
tape on the
problem.
floor.
Yeah, at least
There was
like
no egress, no safety egress.
no lockout tag out. Nothing. It was-
Dude. And it's funny because I do it every day.
Oh my gosh.
Safety officer comes up. Guys, what's going on here?
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
We've had
Are
3
you
violations.
setting
this
people on fire again.
Then he wheels out the industrial blowtorch like, wingy, wingy, wingy. out into this because John Bon Jovi's running with a gas can.
Running with the gas can.
Yeah, you dork. You didn't think of that? Because when he does blowtorch him, he looks down at that like, this was the wrong thing to bring, wasn't it?
Instead of dropping it and running,
Yeah.
he holds it and goes, oh!
Yeah. Like, wrong suitcase. Oh. Yeah.
Chill out.
Exactly.
He hits him with the Arnold line, right? Chill out. Is basically.
Yep.
I don't understand it in this
his-
context. This
Yeah.
is the worst one-liner in the movie.
Your toast would have been better.
Right.
Well, exactly.
Anything having to do with fire
because he
would
says
be good.
chill out. I'm like,
Yeah.
he's lighting him on fire. It's the exact opposite.
It's maybe an attempt at irony in a movie that does not deserve to.
No, that would mean that I thought
it's,
about it.
No.
It's a weird setup because like he says chill out, right? And then he asks him how he likes his ribs.
Right.
That is great. When he picks up the grenade launcher and
Oh,
says,
sure.
"How do you like your ribs?" And he launches a grenade into the guy's abdomen.
Yes.
That is great.
You need someone
Incredible.
to go through the movie after it's been edited and go cut these one-liners
Yes.
that don't work.
For sure.
Exactly. They didn't do that.
I
do a
was
pass.
very frustrated with the fact that these are the 4 baddest men in the whole movie.
Spend the whole movie building
And
them up.
they get punked like little bitches by Ed and Action
do.
Jackson. It's not even hard for them to
No.
beat these guys. They just like, fire that one, punch that one into an electrical socket, and blow that one off the edge. Okay,
Huey
we
Lewis
good?
is the
We
only
good?
one that puts up a fight. He comes around the corner with his PVC grenade launcher and starts blowing up half the factory. And Ed and Action are running for their lives. They get around the outside of a doorway, each on one side, so that when Huey comes through the door, Action goes, "You looking for me?" and distracts him enough to Ed tackles him.
Yep.
After that little scuffle, he ends up by the edge of this thing, and Action has picked up the grenade launcher. And the first time I saw this, I'm like, it's not a great line because why are you randomly saying this? I didn't even tie it back to the barbecue thing because it was like 5 minutes earlier.
Yeah. And
But
I
it's
don't care anymore.
It's a response to him saying,
Right.
let's have a barbecue. And so he picks up the grenade launcher and goes, "How do you like your ribs?"
Yep.
Yep.
Boom.
Oh, I didn't get that at all.
And but Carl does it. It's not a knock on Carl Weathers.
Right.
He delivers how he's sweaty. He's freaking jacked.
Yeah.
How do you like your ribs? Boom.
Yeah.
Cool. But like
it's
from a
great.
writing standpoint, okay. It's fine.
It's a stretch for a callback at this point.
Sure.
Yeah.
No one remembers the barbecue line because it was such a throwaway.
That's
line.
a throwaway line. You're right.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
the throwaway line. That's a throwaway line. Then like the chill out is so bad.
So much so
That
that
it's-
Carl has to tell the audience again because he picks it up and again I missed it the first time. He goes barbecue, huh? As he's picking it up,
Yeah.
just so he can
Oh,
reset up the line.
Barbecue, huh? How do you
So-
like your ribs?
I know the grenade launcher you're talking about, but did you look at the one that he's holding in the movie? Because it looks like something from Fun Services or Spirit Halloween or something.
Yes.
It looks like they made it quickly. I know that
Yes.
that type of gun exists. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Like that's an actual grenade launcher?
Yes, it's an actual
I
grenade
think it's
launcher.
the one that Shane Black has in Predator.
prop that
right?
they use, the prop for the movie, like
Yeah.
you said, it looks like it could have been a 15-inch black rubber.
Yes, it looks like I know this is the gun we're trying to make.
This is where we're trying to go with this, but
Right.
we only have this amount of money, so
We could only afford the half-inch PVC pipe.
Exactly. We're only going to do the explosions. We can't
That's
have
right.
load it, shoot it, any of that.
Can't have that.
Hold it, blow up.
We have the final scene here. Finally, the big party at Peter Delaplane's house.
the final
they've all
scene that
gotta
comes
go
out of
to.
left field.
We have Action Jackson sneak in, and he gets Albert to help him, and they're going to be wait staff. The help, they're going to blend in that way. I guess.
Sure.
With
Because
no
you know who's never
establishment.
talked to Albert in the whole movie? Action Jackson. And he doesn't even like him.
No.
When he showed up and was like, "Why am I here?" "Well, my friends are dead."
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is that for us? Or is that
We're already to Albert on your friend list.
Yeah,
That's
right.
That's rough, dude.
Could I get that guy that faints every time he sees me? He seems like he could help.
He's a nice
Seems like
guy.
a real straight shooter.
Yeah, exactly. That guy's going places.
Foss, the guy that's going to get assassinated, gets up to talk, and he's, doing his whole jokey joke routine you do. And we see that the fake Action Jackson is up in a tree getting ready to shoot Foss, right? And so Jackson sends Albert to just run through the crowd, like to cause commotion, to do anything to distract from what's happening. Really does nothing.
Who knows?
But except for the guy going, well, somebody tell him there's enough food for everybody, right? Like there's somebody running through the crowd. and he's lining up the shot, and Action just pulls on the Christmas lights and like swings down. The lights explode, and he throws off the guy's shot, and then he gets knocked off the tree by the exploding Christmas lights.
He falls from the tree because these Christmas globe lights are exploding behind him.
Right.
And falls onto some forks
He's impaled on
impaled.
something,
on
Fence?
on a
Yeah, maybe a
fence,
on a yeah
It looked
under
like
the
a fence,
tree in
yeah.
the backyard.
yeah something. I guess it is like
landscaping.
fence
Okay, but
post.
whose tree is it when it comes time to cut the branches? Is it his? It's
Yeah,
on my
I
side
guess
of the
technically
fence,
the neighbor's murder to clean up,
but it's hanging over.
because it's over the property line.
Not on my property, man.
A substantial portion of the root structure is on their side.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the guy wired these Christmas lights, and they were slightly more explosive than we gave them credit for.
God.
Because
One
they
of
were
the
able to get him off there.
nitroglycerin bulbs, right?
You didn't put the exploding bulbs up there, did you?
Please.
Because there's going to
Thank
be an assassin in that tree.
As soon as this
Oh no.
wait, did I say that? Pandemonium breaks out. Everyone starts running everywhere. The guy that's going to be the new president just starts yelling, "Delaplane did it! Delaplane did it!"
For no reason.
Butterfly knife.
Yeah.
The one moment, and he looks at Brian Libby, and it's like whoosh, whoosh, pan whip
Yeah.
to Brian Libby, butterfly knife, wha-cha!
Yep.
Right. You're just murdering
Still
guests
does the
in
flip.
front of everybody. At this point, are you just like,
Ah.
Peter Delaplane's going to still get away with this? Or
I didn't think we were going to get this far.
your henchmen are murdering guests in your yard.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just want to know how far down the line.
Now Kid Sable's here too.
Right.
Yep.
Yes.
And Ed.
Yep.
It was very much like all the bad guys were good. Like, not it.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm just killing my way out of here.
Seriously. They start knifing guests. That's a bad sign. It's not going to come back on you at all. Al Leong was one of the henchmen, famous stuntman.
Yes.
Tries to fight Kid Sable.
Yes.
Tries to, roundhouse kick him a couple times. He ducks under it. And then he gets mesmerized by the guy's incredible footwork,
Yeah.
which he referenced earlier.
Which is a throwback to the other
Yeah.
part that he says. Yeah.
And just cracks Al right in the jaw.
Boom.
Not a boxing fan.
Yeah. Then he gets shot by Action Jackson's ex-partner, who is also at the party.
Yes.
And he goes, "Hey, aren't you Kid Sable?" Right? Like there's all these. It's like the Avengers
Seriously,
assembled. Like they
but-
all came together at the end of this movie.
But he blasts this guy away. You get the awesome 80s squibs of
Yeah.
the chest exploding.
Yes.
And instead of any follow-up, he's just like, "Hey, you're Kid Sable. Never mind, I just killed a man, but
Thanks
good
for
to
not
meet ya."
standing there.
Yeah.
Not a lot of loose ends at this point. Really, the only one besides Delaplane himself is Brian Libby, butterfly knife guy, and he eats one of his own knives because Ed just comes up behind him and is just like, "Nope, this was for you. This knife goes right in your chest."
Yeah.
Just kills.
As he
him.
looks right because Alfred is about to eat it with the butterfly knife, and
Right.
Mr. Ed saves him and says, "Crime doesn't pay."
Right.
Yeah.
But what? I'm a Muslim. I guess. What's the time limit on you not caring about that anymore?
At this point,
Time to love, a time to kill.
the only person left
Not
is
that's a
Delaplane.
different. That's something else.
Action Jackson is standing on the lawn, and his ex-partner's there, and Sydney breaks the window to call out to him. Action! I'm up here, Action. Looks up, and here comes the bad guy right behind her with the gun. "Don't come up here! I got a gun!" And in her face. And he looks over at his partner, like, "What am I gonna? Do you want to do it?"
Listen, I'm pretty sure the only way you're going to become lieutenant again is if you go up there in a car.
That's right. So
Also-
he goes F it and tosses him a gun. Now this should be a big moment. It's his
Yeah.
first time having a gun the whole movie, right?
Yeah, it is.
Also,
I
his-
didn't even notice.
It's true,
His
though.
partner also is just like, I'm a cop too, but here's my gun. I'm out.
Right.
Yep. Not
You
it.
do it, not it. Yeah.
do it, yeah.
Nose goes. Here's my gun. He's got the 1989 red sports car.
That car was hot.
Hottest.
Dude,
He says it.
rips this car into the house, crashes through the dining room, drives it up the
Not
staircase.
yet. Not yet. Now hold on. Don't get too antsy here because
I'm already antsy.
I know this is the moment that everybody wants to talk
We
about.
sure do.
But it starts off normal because Cartier is on the first floor,
Oh, that's right.
right?
I forgot
And so
about Cartier.
driving through the front
Cartier.
door and running over a bad guy, which was gnarly, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Totally normal for a movie like this.
Makes sense.
And then you get out of the car and you run upstairs.
with
Yes.
your gun. Yep.
But in Action Jackson, But
No.
if you're Action Jackson, you throw it into third gear
That's right.
and drive up the staircase.
But not before you stop at the bottom of the stairs and go, hot.
Get to the top
to
of the,
the halfway up
staircase.
there.
Hotter. Wait
for it.
There's enough room for me to drift around this hallway
He's
to the master
drifting
bedroom.
around corners in the hallway of
Yes.
this damn house. He's on the
It's a
second
big house.
God, this is a big house.
Fast and the Furious 4
This
Mansion
is-
Drift.
This is Bob's wet dream as a furniture delivery man.
Yeah.
You got the contractors when they built this house.
Sir, are you sure you need the hallway to
Well,
be
look,
18 feet wide?
you're gonna want these wide hallways, okay? Once you're in here, you're really gonna love it. Okay, we're gonna make it the size of a. You could drive a truck through here if you want to.
You got these other contractors. They're going to underbid you, and they're going to give you these tiny walls. You're going to be so disappointed when you have all these guests come
That's
through.
right.
They're going to say he's got small hallways.
Listen,
Everybody knows he's got the smallest hallways.
not always out there. Not always.
I'm not saying you're going to want to drift in these hallways, but you might. And if you do, we got you covered.
Or Delaplane couldn't be bothered while they were building his mansion. He was like, "Look, I just want really big hallways. I want hallways you could drive through." And the guy's like, "He said he wants to be able to drive
Anything
through.
that says I've got a micro penis.
Build them big enough to drive through." Eddie, are you serious? You know what that's going to cost?
It's going to be a lot of walking, guy. It's going to take you forever to get up these stairs. I don't care. I don't care. Send it.
The stair steps are this much difference between each one.
Bro, where is the staircase in a house that two people could walk up shoulder to shoulder
Right.
next to each other? And this dude drives a freaking car up the stairs. It's awesome.
They should have preceded this with them driving golf carts around throughout the house.
Yeah.
So at least we had that concept.
So do you want a ramp to upstairs? No, stairs. Yeah, but you can't drive a car upstairs. It's too heavy. Okay, well, not a ramp. You want stairs? Yeah, I want the stairs. I want to be able to drive a car up the stairs. A very
so
small
hard
red
for you to
car.
understand?
What's so hard for you to understand? I got an action movie coming up, and I got to have
Right.
the guy drive up the stairs.
The only problem with any of this, like you said, if they had just been like, "I'm going to the bathroom, sweetheart," and he drives a golf cart to the bathroom and comes back at some point. But every other scene we see in this house, the stairs look normal. The hallways look normal.
Yeah.
And then here he's driving
it's
a
a
freaking.
really small car.
It's the tiniest car.
Mini Cooper.
Carl Weathers is in there like,
His arms are out the sides.
That's why it's so hot in there.
It's like the Grinch car in
Yeah.
bro.
Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
He gets out. He's got his gun. The first time he's ever had it in the whole movie. And of course, Coach is like, "No, we're gonna come on over here. We're gonna karate fight." And he puts the gun. I'm like, "You haven't had a gun the whole movie? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
let's have our karate fight."
He just got baited into his own trick.
And then Armani, or what's her face? What is her name?
Vanity.
Vanity is screaming what the audience is screaming at
Yes.
this point when Coach puts the gun down. Shoot him! Shoot him right now! You can shoot him right now. What are you
Right.
doing?
Indiana Jones, man.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Exactly.
Right here.
And he's like, nope.
All right. Let's dance.
I got the gun. I just wanted to drive it upstairs. I just wanted to drive this gun upstairs. And now we're done. I don't need it anymore. It's good.
It just makes me feel more safe to have it with me.
The house is too big. If I walk, the movie will be over.
We've only got 10 minutes of film left. I can't walk all the way up.
And then, guys, I know you know where I'm going with this. I'm supposed to believe that Carl Weathers gets his ass kicked around by Craig T. Nelson.
They clearly established that Craig T. Nelson
I know,
Craig
but
teaches Japanese men how to fight.
when he kicks him and Carl has to sell and go, "Oh, back onto the car," and I'm just
Dude,
like,
well,
bro,
And he sells getting knocked into the windshield.
yes.
Craig was
Yeah.
was trying hard, I will say.
If
he was
Craig Nelson punched Apollo Creed, it would be like when he punched Ed in the hallway, right? I mean,
That's
that's
fair.
essentially what it would be like.
I think Craig did a good job of acting it.
It's not Craig's fault.
Yeah, it's not. It's just it's Carl
It's
frickin'
casting.
Weathers.
Yes.
Well, the thing that stuck with me.
It's the writing, it's the casting, it's the film. I don't know.
It's kind of all of it.
I thought the actors were like, "This is what we got. Let's do it."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that stuck with me is that he gets his ass kicked by Craig T. Nelson for a while, then goes, "Now I'm pissed."
Yeah.
And then beats the crap out of him.
He does.
you haven't gotten upset yet.
No, because when he walked away, when he was chained up, he said, "One of these days are going to piss me off."
That was it. I was gonna say this
is
is
that
all.
another callback I didn't
All
get?
of this is a
It was,
callback.
yeah.
You know,
It's
I
like-
watched this movie 2 times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's a ton of callbacks.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did not
But it
land.
is
Did not get it.
like you said. He says one of these days you're gonna piss me off, and then now here we are. Now you pissed me off.
yeah, I
Just
guess.
rock-
I think
him.
maybe they were trying to be like, he's trying not to go over, like,
So he doesn't lose his
so he
job
doesn't
more.
lose his job more or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's stupid
And
for a
then-
movie that's action, like
Yeah.
80s action.
He only uses his gun once. Craig Nelson realizes he's now getting his ass kicked, goes for the gun. So does Action Jackson. They fire at the same time. They both get hit, but one is much worse than the other. And
Dude.
the squib.
Squid
Slow.
was dope.
Is it good?
Oh, yeah.
Slow motion
Yeah.
blows the chest out of Craig
And
T.
back.
Nelson.
Yeah.
And back.
Yep.
Chest and back. Slow motion fall backwards into the white walls that
Great
are now
death.
splattered in blood.
It was good.
Great death scene. Vanity gets up. She's like, "I know you said you'd never team up with a junkie, but how about an ex-junkie? You serious,
Dude,
But did you decide that on your way up the
This
stairs? What do you mean?
The whole bow on this ending, because it's like he gets shot, like you said. They fire at the same time, so now there's like a moment of like, oh no, did he get hit? Did he not get hit? It's kind of dramatic, and he's like, ah, damn, I've been shot, and he's like just got hit in the shoulder, and then Bill Duke comes up,
Oh,
the
yeah, thank
bumbly
you.
cop,
Me
you
some
know,
fun.
Biff comes back, dude.
I guess you're lieutenant again."
Biff comes back, and he's like, well, he's a pretty dead piece of car maker.
That's right.
yeah.
What are you looking at? What are you looking at, butthead?
And then Bill Duke's like, oh, action, by the way, yeah, you have a report ready in the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And then they make out,
Ew.
and the credits
She
and the credits
just
roll.
had Craig T. Nelson's dick in her mouth, dude. Like, I would not be kissing.
That's the end of the movie.
I'm just saying, when they start
I
kissing,
missed
I'm
that
like,
scene. I
Yeah.
guess.
no, but like, she's a freaking,
I know.
like,
All right.
She has for sure. I would not kiss her.
nope, pass. Hard pass.
She's had a lot in there, is my guess, for sure.
Will you kiss me?
Yeah.
No. Baby, undress me.
Pass.
Well, guys, I think there's a way we could have made Action Jackson better. In fact, I think Carl Weathers probably maybe did try to
Tried
do
to desperately, is my guess.
What you do is you replace Vanity
Yeah.
with Arnold
With
Schwarzenegger.
Vanity.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Will you kiss me? Baby, undress me.
How about an ex-junkie?
That's right.
Cold turkey.
I know you said you would never go out with somebody who was a drug addict. Okay, but what about an ex-drug addict?
You can have me for Thanksgiving.
Well, you can have me right now.
Yeah. Can I have you earlier?
Right. He gets after Craig Nelson, does the slow-mo death. He stands up. He's like, "You son of a bitch!"
Yes!
And they freaking clasp hands
Yeah.
in camera. Yeah, him and Vanity.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Whatever her name is, Sydney Ash.
Is that her real name?
What's up?
Vanity's her real name.
Oh.
Right. Well,
The nightclub have you pushing too many syringes?
and it's just the sweat.
That's right.
Yes.
It'd be great, man.
Yes.
Arnold could have fit. I mean, look, they had every. It really, the movie feels like it's missing Arnold.
son of a
Yeah.
bitch.
Or it's missing Stallone, and not to replace Carl. I think I'm thrilled Carl got to lead an action movie. I think he
Yeah.
should have had way more opportunities to do so. There should have been an Action Jackson too. It's not his. I mean, commercially,
It did well.
It did well.
It did well.
He could have even been the bouncer guy.
But right
Mr.
after
Ed.
this, the rights got sold to another studio, and then it was sold to Warner Brothers, and then it languished there. And so they tried to get a sequel going, but it just changed hands so many times it just kind of died on the vine. But it's not like they were like, that, we'll never do another one of those. They wanted to do another one.
I wanted them to do another one.
So, but the movie felt like it was missing
Sure.
Arnold, right? Even if
Yeah.
it's just like a cameo or something, right? Like there's a great hairdresser. There's a hairdresser you go to. That's what you should go see right now.
Hairdresser down at
That's right.
Quite a lot of order there.
That's right.
I like
and
to
it's
see almost naked.
all right, man. That's cool, right?
Just smash cuts to Arnold smoking a clove.
He's just listen to me. I know all of these guys. Okay, I know where they hang out.
He's got like a tie-dye tank top on.
No, there's no charge. Regardless, we've got patrons playing along, and I'm sure they've got tons of ideas as far as where we could stick Arnold himself. And so I'm excited that Mike Harding, we got a lot of just all-time, or long-time, I should say, awards guys on this episode. So many places to stick Arnold, Mike says. Maybe, but how about as D, the very excited exposition spouting
that's
hairdresser?
awesome.
I'm
That was
sorry
on
that
there.
I stole your thunder there, Mike. He's going to be upset. I'm sorry, man. Sorry. Eric Valov says, casting him in the title role, I feel would change the movie. It's very much a blaxploitation film, so as the title role, it would not work. For comedic effect, I would cast him as D. All of that exposition with
there.
Arnold's trademark accent.
This is great.
How about that? I'm wondering if this is what we're going to get the whole way through. Mark Gusick comes in and says Arnold would replace Craig T. Nelson in this. Just imagine him playing the bad guy and spewing all the nonsense at the end. It would be magical.
True.
What do you want from me? I want you to die.
It would be cool to see those two like fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, and even when he's
That-
he's like beating up the Japanese guy, and he's like, "Lessons over."
Yeah.
dude. Donnie Miles, okay, comes in and says, Bill Duke is great, but Captain, how do you say that?
Armbruster.
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 We need Arnold in a police chief yelling at his cops. This you almost tore her arm off, and every time you go out here, you're destroying half the city. I've got the Chamber of Commerce coming after me. I got everybody up my butt, and so you have to stop it. Stop it!
And it's my wife's Parcheesi night.
It's Parcheesi.
I was going to go to this party, right, for the guy. They're going to give him a Man of the Year, but it's my wife's Parcheesi night.
And I have to make the chips.
That's right.
I got to make
That'd be freaking awesome, dude. All right. And then finally, Alan Brown playing along, and he also says as D, the exposition beautician.
Nice.
Hey, that's
what
a
her
great
name should have
nickname.
been.
Wow.
Exposition beautician. I love it,
I wonder how
guys.
she got the name.
see the exposition beautician.
That's right.
So it looks
What
like
did she
on
do?
this one.
Dude,
Yeah.
what if it's the pusher, like instead of Billy,
Yeah.
right?
Ooh.
Right? He gets
This is
upstairs.
Action Jackson. This is going to be easier than I thought.
That's right. Be perfect to get up there and have a little fight, a one-scener, right?
Yeah.
That's why
She's going to see him,
Anything.
and he's just like, "I'm gonna get you pumped."
That's right. It's going to be an incredible pump. Okay.
It's a steroid.
It's a steroid.
Yeah.
Was you going to shoot this and then we're going to do your deltoids? Okay. We're going to do pectoral flies.
When he injects him, he thinks it's drugs, and it's just steroids, so he gets stronger.
That's right.
She gets all pissed. Wait, what? No, I wanted
You're
heroin.
going to do 5 sets of 10
Yeah.
while I'm kicking his ass. Okay.
He's coaching her as he's fighting.
That's right. Stop it.
Don't stop.
Yes. That's a perfect. So when he shoots him up with the steroids at the end, Arnold just gets bigger.
Yes.
Oh, no. And it's Carl Weathers who gets lawn darted into the other
Yes.
building.
Yeah.
And then he just runs away.
Yeah. See? All right, guys. We
We
did
just
it.
fixed it.
We made it better.
We fixed it. All right, so let's go to our actual awards, and we'll start with our first one, which is the most prestigious award we give out. It's the Will Patton Award for Intensity. Let's go.
You want a war? I'll give you a war!
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night! And if they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure
They remember forever the night they played the Titans.
That's right. All right.
What are you doing with a gun in space?
Oof. Yeah, that was a close one. All right, Donnie Miles going to kick us off here. And Donnie, who picked the theme for this month's poll, so he's on here as an award giver now. He says, Craig T. Nelson as Delaplane. The guy's an awesome baddie. He constantly has a look that says, I'm thinking terrible thoughts and have bad motives. And then he acts them out on screen. A great, overlooked 80s villain. That's vote number 1 for Craig T. Nelson. Who you got, Dave?
Same. I think that Craig T. Nelson was one of the only people that didn't almost play it comedic for everything. It felt like he was an actual bad guy and not. He wasn't just chewing scenery and like trying to be Looney Tune-ish, I guess. So yeah, definitely Craig T. Nelson for this because I actually thought he was mean.
No, I like it. Mike Harding says this has to go to Craig T. Nelson's eyebrows. Those things walked in Action Jackson so Yancey Butlers could run in hard target. Seriously, though, Carl Weathers acted the hell out of this movie. He was funny, charming, believable, and intense. I don't understand why he didn't have a bigger solo action career. Mike, same. Especially that last point. 100% should have had a bigger solo action career. Ryan, who you got for the Will Patton?
I'm going with Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah.
After their fight at the end, I looked at Lauren. I was like, I wish that there were more movies with Craig T. Nelson being the bad guy because I thought he did a great job.
Yeah, his look was scary.
Yes.
Terrifying. Yeah, and it's weird because all the things I'd seen him in, he's always kind of cuddly.
Yeah.
But not this.
And I was like, this is a whole new scene.
Yeah.
Way more respect for him as an actor.
100%.
I always thought he was a good actor, but
Yeah.
like it's awesome to see him do something so different.
Right. We got Eric Valov saying Craig T. Nelson makes the movie, and he always had an intense, crazed look in his eye when talking to Carl Weathers. Yeah, even when he gave him the autopsy, he's like, "Oh, the lighting is terrible in these shots and stuff." It's like, damn,
Yep.
dude, all right, crazy.
It's cold.
Farrell.
What else are we gonna say besides Craig T. Nelson?
Yeah.
Because it's true. There's like nuances to his performance, like his eyebrows, things he does with his mouth that you just, if you pick up on it, like he does the little smirk when he throws the 357 after he kills Sharon Stone. He throws it back to Cardi and says, "Oh, works," and he does like a little like
It's
thing.
true.
And he brings it. I mean, even his fighting, which is as goofy as it is, and I know James doesn't believe it, but man.
Well, it's not a knock on him.
No, I know, but he plays it up. His roundhouse kicks, and then he's like,
We're not
over.
him.
Boom. Yeah.
Those are not crazy. No.
No, that was somebody else's leg coming across his face. Yeah, 100%. Mark Gusick, the Goose, says Craig T. Nelson. He was so intense as the bad guy in this. It was so much fun to watch him chew up scenery. Heck yeah, absolutely. And look, I'm going to go, before we go to our last person here, I'm actually going to join Mike and say Carl Weathers. Not that I didn't think Craig T. Nelson was great, because, again, awesome. But I think Carl delivers. He's believable, whether it's the scene where they introduce him and he's just staring this kid down, like you believe
Yeah.
everything about they said about this guy, all the buildup. How do you want your ribs? It's stupid, but he does the best he could do with that stuff, and I really liked his performance in this. But both of those guys, I think it's right that looks like Craig's going to win, though. And finally, Alan Brown comes in and says, Carl Weathers. Oh, I made it a little closer. He always seems to have some anger just below the surface and was just looking for an excuse to let it out. But that still means, even with those few votes for Carl Weathers, though, Craig T. Nelson is going to win the Will Patton Award for intensity, and well-deserved. I mean,
He was scary.
as Donnie said, an overlooked 80s villain, but hopefully now we're helping to remedy that a little bit and that people won't overlook him quite as much.
Yeah.
Right? He deserves his place in the pantheon of 80s bad guys and cop movies.
Why not?
Right?
Sure.
100%. There was worse bad guys in some of the Beverly Hills Cops movies.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And those are more well received, talked about, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better be known for this than Coach.
Yeah, 100%. The next award we give out is for the worst acting performance in the movie, not the most useless character. It is our Steven Seagal Trash Can Full of Dirt Award, and we named it after him, because he is useless, but he is also the worst actor maybe of all time. And so I'm excited to see where you guys, because this one doesn't seem as obvious maybe as the Will Patton Award, but we got to give it out anyway, so let's get it.
Trash can, oh trash can, it's a trash can full of dirt. Yeah.
Love never dies, and neither do they. Love is eternal, and that's a long time.
Yeah, okay. All right, Steve.
It's how do you say in English?
All right, Donnie says Vanity as Sidney Ash. Talk about no selling a role or even a song that you actually sing yourself. If you're going with the one-word moniker, let's match your personality and go with charmless instead. Ouch.
Ooh, ouch.
Scorching retorts there from Mr. Donnie Miles. Dave, who you got?
Well, I know. Well, you think this is going to be hard. I don't think it's going to be hard at all. Vanity sucked like a junkie at a church festival. She was the worst. I didn't believe a damn thing she said. It was like, I'm in a movie, right? This is movie time. And the only saving grace that she will ever have are her boo-boos, and that's why they showed him as much as they could in this movie. She was junk, and nobody else even stuck out as bad. And I think it was because she was so bad, she made the rest of them look okay. It would be like if you had a whole bakery full of amazing looking donuts,
Yeah.
and then there was like just a pile of sitting there. It'd be like, oh well, a lot of these donuts look a lot better because of that
Well,
pile of
obviously,
crap being in
this one looks good.
So so Vanity.
All right, fair
For sure.
You're going Vanity.
Glad that you planted your flag so firmly, though. That's what I like. Mike Harding says, hands down, goes to Ryan Farrell. Ryan Farrell! How anyone can say Armageddon is better than Saving Private Ryan is beyond me. But what do you expect from someone who eats his steak well done? Thank you. If you don't like steak, just order the chicken fingers, Ryan. He came after you.
I'll help you know.
man.
I order the chicken fingers once a week.
I have
At
to
a steak place?
probably.
All right.
I have to pick someone from the movie. I thought Vanity was awful. Also, I had to fight the urge to fast forward every time she sang. Don't fight the second time through the movie. That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I know this part.
Put it on 1.5.
That's
speed.
it, man.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So Vanity right now, clean sweeping. Madeline.
Vanity sucked so much ass in this movie.
Yeah.
I think she paid people
Guys.
to. I think she paid to be part of this.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
She is not a singer or actress.
She was both. But yeah.
Not a real one.
I was
dude.
going to say, this is the funny
She
part.
sucks.
She's not a singer, but yet she was like because she was in that one group that did Nasty Girls, right? Which was a protege of Prince.
Yeah.
Her choreography in this movie was done by Paula Abdul.
Yeah.
Right? Not only is she not she plays a junkie at the time, she's even like, yeah, I had a horrible cocaine problem at the time, so I really related to the junkie aspect of the character.
She had just come out of her drug phase.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And to quote Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah, that's true. Eric Valov says that this one was difficult, but I'm going to go with Harry James as the hooker at the desk. The foot job hooker.
The foot job
Whoa.
hooker.
I love it.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
Way to go,
She did a
Eric.
good job.
Way to be
I thought she
different.
did
I
great
thought-
selling the one line that she had.
Her
Eric,
kick in the nuts.
She didn't give
was
anyone
good.
a wet willy.
Don't listen to any of these people, Eric. That was a great pick.
It is a
Go
great
back to
pick.
the bus stop.
Right.
Farrell.
Look, Vanity is terrible in this movie. The way she present, like when she's dancing for him, and she's just like,
That's Paula Abdul's fault. You blame Paula Abdul like you just said she choreographed
What, did you
it.
date her?
but you know what? You know where I'm planting my flag? Sharon Stone
That's fair. That is fair.
sucks in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. She
Look,
does.
I'll tell you this, because I've never seen this movie until the other day, right?
Yeah.
Knowing Sharon Stone from performances like Casino and
Yeah.
Basic Instinct, and even The Specialist.
Yes.
Like, pick it, Alpha Dog. You could pick a Sharon Stone movie, and it's all great. And for some odd reason, like, when she's playing this character who doesn't know if she's going to help the cop or stick with her husband, and it's like she's having this all mental confusion thing. And the scene where she's like, Peter, what is going on? I freaking hated
why
it
you
so
It was pretty bad.
much.
It's about like that.
And as I've always said, this isn't a career award because she is a good actress
Yes.
and has
Yeah.
done
No.
good performances.
And
this
even
was not it.
from the beginning of her like, maybe I could change your mind. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
And then, I guess I didn't.
That was
change my mind.
the peak of her.
That was the peak of the performance in the movie.
That
was
was
her right there.
Standard Sharon Stone. I was like, oh, okay, and then it just was downhill from there.
Dude, this is what I mean.
Her-
I didn't even notice how bad she was because Vanity was so bad.
'Cause-
Yes.
And
Fair
see,
enough.
I looked past it, and I only knew it because I'm like, Sharon Stone, Casino
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah.
You were nominated for an Oscar for that movie.
Right.
And here you are. Just what?
Yeah.
Sharon Stone
Well,
all the way. She sucks in
All
this
right.
movie.
Mark Gussick says Hulk Hogan in Santa with muscles. Oh wait, wrong movie.
We did it.
This actually goes to Vanity. Everything she did was horrible. So horrible, in fact, I think they redubbed most of her dialogue in post. I've watched kindergarten plays with better acting. Damn, you guys. All right, let's see.
You're not wrong.
Alan Brown also says Sharon Stone.
Yes.
This was obviously one of her first roles. She was just horrible. All right. I gotta stand up for Vanity here. Okay.
Yes.
Why?
I don't think she was that bad.
What?
From
Why?
an acting
What was
standpoint?
worse?
I thought she came off natural. I thought her line delivery was
Really?
pretty natural. I do.
I think you thought she was hot, and that's all
No.
you cared about.
Look, the
Look at him.
singing. The
He's
singing
like,
was
"Whoa,
bad.
what are you talking
The singing was bad. I fast forwarded. I admit that was bad. But her,
She had her top off, and so it's okay.
No,
I
Her-
won't throw
I'm
this
just messing
ninja
with you.
yet.
I'm
I
done.
will throw it
Her
when I
scene
hear who you say.
I'll let
it
you.
is.
not
I'll let you have your
gratuitous.
say.
her scenes is like her scenes with Jackson. I thought, especially when she's talking about like doing the withdrawal stuff and how her teeth felt hollow, and she lived through that herself. I thought she was fine. Was it like a mind blowing performance? No, but I don't think you guys are acting like it was the worst, most offensive acting you've ever seen.
I didn't
And
buy
don't
that she
think-
was even a real life ex junkie.
Okay. See, I disagree. I'll take up for Vanity here.
Okay.
I thought that this was before she was an actual junkie. I thought she was acting like a
No,
junkie.
no. The worst performance in this movie was Albert, the fainting kid, for sure. Because talk about
Fair.
over the top. He's just like,
I can't throw a ninja.
You know
for
what?
that.
ooh.
That's
I was
fair.
gonna say
Okay.
because
didn't
even
think of
then,
that.
All right.
when he's in the back seat and they're like, "What's
Yes.
your name, kid?" He's like, Albert
Yeah.
Smith.
No,
Right. It's bad.
It's like he was bad too.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very bad.
it wasn't as bad.
But I don't. I mean, Vanity.
sucked.
It wasn't a great performance, but I just don't. You guys really went, and the patrons too. That's all I'm like. Okay. I don't
She
think it
also
was
had
that-
a lot of screen time.
I think
and
it was
so
that bad.
It was kind of painful to watch.
Yeah.
You know.
I liked her performance personally. Like, or I should say, I found her likable,
Sure. Like what you like.
but the singing.
What you like?
If it had just been, if she had done one more song, I think I would have gave it to her just on the singing alone.
But that's part of what was so atrocious.
yeah.
Is she was a singer,
I know, but that's
and so if you're
Who was
singing,
backed by all these really
Yeah.
well-known artists of
Yeah.
the '80s.
well, look, hey, you guys should be happy because it doesn't matter what I say because she wins.
that's right.
Vanity is the winner.
Vanity's the winner of the trash can.
We just want you to be on the right side of the team.
Fine. All right, here comes the moment, you guys. We are now going to deviate. I don't have a theme song for one of these yet because it's brand new. We are going to start off with the Steve James Award, and the other award will now be the Unsung Hero Award, and so there'll be two different awards. The Steve James Award will simply be for the best supporting actor in the movie. So the person that was non-lead, which is what people have tried to do with this award before, who was the best performance in the movie from a non-lead. Okay. The Unsung Hero Award, because I still want to honor and give props to people that have tiny parts that really have like one scene to do their thing and maybe two scenes, and they do everything they can with the small amount they've been given, right? And that they shine in their small parts, which is another thing we've tried to do with the Steve James Award. And we are now going to make them two separate awards. Okay.
We got it.
What's the definition of a non-lead?
So just like okay, that's a good question because like, the Academy struggles with this. But go
Anthony
ahead. Ryan.
Hopkins in The Silence of the Lambs.
Is a supporting role.
Okay, so like
I'm just kidding.
no, so like in this movie,
That's
like
the-
Craig
that's
T.
the
Nelson's the
struggle.
main bad guy. Would that be considered a lead role off limits?
No, I think in this, yes, I would say.
That's fair. I'm just trying to define like how do we
How would you
boundary?
for leads in this, Ryan? What would you say? Action Jackson, obviously.
I'd say- okay,
Carl
so
Weathers.
leads in this you would say would be Carl Weathers, Craig T. Nelson, and Vanity are the leads.
Okay,
Right?
Vanity may be a supporting part.
I would, because she's the lead female.
Yeah,
She's in
lead
a
female.
lot.
She'd be a lead actress.
You'd have to look at screen time. So, like you said, that's why she seems like she sucks so bad.
And I
'cause
thought
she's
this was
in
going to
a
make
lot
things
of the
more
movie.
clear, and it's now muddier than
This is all
it does
Mala's
because
fault.
it's a smaller amount of people that we have to worry about being leads. But I just want to make sure like I don't
just
pick,
like not the main couple
Sure.
people. Basically, just
That's
think of
fair.
it that way. We don't have to be slavish.
so you can't
to it,
pick
but
Vanity.
I wasn't going to pick Vanity. Jeez Louise,
I mean, if you want to, James, you still can.
I could.
It's your
okay.
award.
It's your show.
Let's just do it.
Let's do it.
You know, every place you go, there's always someone who thinks he's a badass, right?
I'm trying to solve a problem here.
Then there are those few who are.
I'm just making clear lines the first time so that
Are you still kind
you
of
have
a
something to point
badass
back
karate
to.
boy?
It's the same rules that the Academy follows for the supporting actor thing.
I don't know
That's
what
it.
that means. Those
Sure.
are all
Alright.
words.
That's not my fault.
which is
What's
exactly
the Academy? What's actor?
Which is
leading?
exactly why Jamie Foxx was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Collateral.
What's the Academy?
Also, here's what I do want to say.
That's weird.
We're just moving on.
We have to move on.
It's a legitimate question.
The Academy, the people that give out the Oscars.
Okay, like the Academy Awards.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm that dumb.
No, it's fine.
talking about?
I don't know. I'm not a friggin'
I
big
mentioned
brain
2
guy like
Oscar-
you.
I also want to say I just came up with this award today, so the patrons didn't know ahead of time. So as we read their awards, their criteria is different than the new criteria we've established with these new awards put in place. So don't hold it against them. They didn't get a chance to split them out. Okie dokie.
There we go.
Donnie Miles says
we go.
Amelia McQueen as Dee the hairdresser. Talk about someone who just lights up the screen. The delightful demeanor of this deliverer of the Daily Download. Ooh, makes me desire a documentary about her deeds with dudes and her dishing of the Detroit dope and details to all of the downtown dudes and dudettes. Let's go.
let's do it,
That
Donnie
was
Miles.
incredible.
That was good.
Well played. Well played. Yes. Good job. I love it.
All right. So this is the Steve James Award for Best Supporting Actor. Dave.
Okay. I'm just gonna say no. I think that I'm gonna give it to
All right.
that guy, just because I liked.
Kid Sable.
Yeah,
right.
I liked when he was there. I guess in the movie, even though his part was nonsensical at best. So
Love it. All right. And so we've also got Mike Harding playing along, and he says, Officer Lack, Roger Aaron Brown, left me wanting more. I could watch a whole movie of this guy just roasting his partners and criminals. This was Biff's partner.
Yes.
Yeah. He also gives out a Hot Babe Award, which we'll get to after this because I think there are, well, 2 choices here we'll go through.
There's maybe 3.
Ryan. Yeah.
I would go with the same as you. I don't know what's it. Kid Sable.
Kid Sable. Kid Sable.
Chino Williams.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean,
cappuccino.
Eric Valov says, another difficult choice. So many character actors. My pick is Chino Fats Williams as Kid Sable. He was also in Roadhouse and The Terminator. He was the old guy that Dalton gave his car to. Like, what do I look like, a valet? And the smart trash truck driver who books it when the lightning appears in an alley, respectively. So that's another vote for Chino Williams as we go over to Farrell for Best Supporting Actor.
Chino Fats Williams.
Wow.
Yep. Because at every scene he does, as incoherent as it might come across, it's perfect.
I love it. Mark Gussick says, Tom Wilson, he was full speed ahead at 88 miles per hour in the few scenes he was in. You're welcome for that, by the way. Where he was going, he didn't need roads.
Oh,
Love it.
There you go.
And Alan Brown says, Sonny Landham as Mr. Quick. I've always liked his bad guy characters, and this one was definitely a great little cameo.
right.
But I'm also going with Chino Williams, just to seal the deal here, as the winner of the first ever Steve James Supporting Actor Award.
Performer
Yeah.
award.
Actor is a non-gender term.
Unless you have, well, yeah. Unless you go by the Academy rules.
Right. Well,
What's the
they're
Academy?
still doing that just so
don't
that 2 people
really
can get the
care.
award. But yeah, it's not just for dudes. Right. All right, cool. Now we get to do the Unsung Hero Award to celebrate, I don't want to say little actors, but actors with little screen time.
Yep.
Okay. I would have called this the Boiling Acid Guy Award from Batman Forever, but Mueller already took that for Trashterpiece Theater, which is...
Did he really?
Yes, they give out a Boiling Acid Guy award on that show. So it's fine. It's just the Unsung Hero Award.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dave, but no patrons for this one, so you just got to kick us off here.
Okay. I will. Does the cop count? Guy, the only you've gotten is when your mom moved you in, and
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
House of Wax. He wasn't in very much with that.
No, he was in a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay,
think
then
that-
I'm going
I
with the
think the idea is
exploitation
just like-
magician.
this is like
Yeah.
a single scene.
Like 1 or 2 scenes. Like
Okay.
they had a really small amount of screen time, but he
Then
was in like 4 or
exploitation,
5 different scenes.
beautician.
Yeah. D.
Yeah, not because I thought that her part was worth it. It was, I mean, she did it really well. I thought it was a means to an end instead of it actually needing to be there, but she did a great job.
No, she did. Look, for what she was given.
Yep.
That was hard to do.
Right.
Madela.
I go with Billy.
Yeah, okay. Mr. X.
Yeah, because he looked like he wanted to rip Carl Weathers' head off. Like,
Yeah.
I think they
Yeah.
like literally were like, okay, you're going to eat him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they both did a lot with their very, very limited screen time. Yeah.
She was good too, though. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you said,
100%.
both of them had nonsense scenes that didn't matter.
Yeah.
But
Right.
Farrell.
Who was the guy in Juwanna Mann?
Oh, he's got a Hispanic name.
DJ.
Funny enough,
Yeah.
I can't remember. I looked him up last night too. But you can just say
That guy.
the ball snippers.
The ball snippers.
Yeah.
the leader of the ball snippers.
Who was speaking all the highfalutin lingo of the
Yes.
pool hall.
Oh yeah, he was
people.
good too.
He was good. He had one scene.
Dude, he did have one scene. He walks in and like I was scared for Carl Weathers' nutsack.
Yeah.
Like that was crazy.
I was talking to another
Honestly,
octave.
bro. And so I guess it leaves it to me to break the tie between those three. So I'm going to go with Sonny Landham as X, Mr. X. I mean, as good as D was, he looked like a psychopath. Maybe that's not acting because maybe he actually was. But for one scene, I was like, hell yeah. One of the best fights in the whole movie.
This is helpful because now there's a clear like
Yeah.
It is helpful.
line of demarcation
Yeah.
for
They are
if
only-
they had more than 2 scenes,
Yeah,
Right.
they're a
that really
supporting
helps.
actor.
Yeah,
So
they're a supporting actor.
This
Yeah,
is helpful.
exactly.
It is good.
All right, cool. We did it, guys.
We did it.
fixed a problem
You
of
don't
my
even
own
have to
creation.
make. That's right. You don't even have to make a
We
video. I
made
don't
a new
think.
one, but we fixed
Yeah.
one of them.
Right, that's fine. Cool. Hot Babe Award, you guys. We've got the Sherilyn Fenn Hot Babe Award that we give out, and sometimes people write in, but usually I try to reserve this for when there's an actual conversation to be had, because sometimes some of these movies, there is a girl in some of the movies that we talk about, right? But in this case, we've got a decent lineup here of Sharon Stone, Vanity, the mom from the Goonies, and that's about it.
Yeah.
D.
Three punch in the face.
Okay.
The guy walking down the street that gets
Yeah,
bird snatched.
him too. Yeah, don't forget about him. He's in this. So let's see if our patrons played along. I know at least a few of them did. Mike Harding says for the Hot Babe Award, I've never given a Hot Babe Award before, but come on. You've got 1988 Sharon Stone. God, she was hot. If she farted in my car, I would roll.
Okay.
I would roll the windows up.
It's funny when you tell that joke 15 years ago. Now it's not funny.
I think it is.
No, it's fun, but like, cause yeah,
You know, there's poop flakes
some
and
weird
farts that would be
micro
in you. Then.
They're
Yeah.
nanoparticles.
that's funny
I'd
though.
say.
It is funny.
Still.
I'm just kidding.
I think we can probably orange whip the Rain Award here, because is anyone going orange whip? Is anyone going away from Carl
Carl
Weathers?
Weathers.
No.
On the
orange
Rain
whips.
Award?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carl Weathers around the table?
Core,
Obviously.
Okay.
Just on sheer sogginess.
for Carl Weathers.
So who are you going with for the Sherilyn Fenn Award?
Oh, God dang it. Because she sucks so bad, but she's hot.
Yeah.
Oh, fine, Vanity. You can have it.
Wow.
I'll give it to you.
Wow. I love
Because I guess, like, if all you had to do was look at her as
yes.
A piece of meat.
piece of meat.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
guys.
Well, I mean,
Cool
it you can't. It's not her acting or singing that I'm hanging
No, that's
hat
true.
on. It's just
Maybe she's got a good personality.
I'm sure she does, but I don't want
maybe
her to talk.
Valov
Maybe
also.
she did before the drugs.
Is she alive?
No.
Oh, good. I mean, not good, but I mean, I just meant like that's the answer to the question. I didn't mean good. I meant
it's
that's
important to mention.
Good to know. Yeah, I skipped these second
BMR
two
does
words.
not support any statements made
Good
by
to know.
Dave.
Yes, these views are not the views of Bad Movies Rule. We do not support anyone dying.
Eric Valov went with Sharon Stone. All right, Madela.
I'll go with Sharon Stone. I wish I don't see what everyone else sees in her, I guess. Everyone says she's so whatever. At least not in this movie. I don't know.
Bro, you're
just-
doubling down on her
Wait.
being mid.
Yeah.
What?
So you're going with Sharon Stone? Or not.
What are my other choices?
Vanity and the
sucks.
Goonies mom.
No, Vanity's no.
Yeah, the Goonies mom.
The Goonies mom,
Vanity's
underrated.
a pass.
You never really got a chance to
Goonies
see
mom-
what she was working with ever.
Goonies mom is
No.
she's I will go with Sharon Stone over Goonies mom. But
All right, fine.
She's mid.
So
dude.
Vanity isn't even in the conversation.
I don't know about that.
Pass, hard pass.
I don't agree at all.
She's not like Halle Berry, dude.
She's the white Halle Berry.
Vanity.
Vanity is?
No, Sharon Stone.
No, I'm saying Vanity's not even like it. Like you guys
Well,
are acting
no,
like
who
Vanity's.
said she
like-
was Halle Berry?
I'm just saying you guys are acting like Vanity's like all that. It's like nah.
She is.
Yeah.
She's not ugly.
Pass.
She's not.
Mark Gusick says, goes to the smoking 80s Sharon Stone. Good Lord, did she look... Oh, my God. Okay. Bob probably paused this a few too many times when he volunteered to watch this for the show. He would have for sure, and I guarantee you he's seen it and probably
Wrecked
screenshotted
a few socks to it.
100%. Yes. Farrell.
For this movie,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Vanity.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah. Look, Sharon Stone is gorgeous, but this was like pre-peak Sharon Stone. She needed a few more years just to marinate, just to get seasoned.
Get to Total
Just
Recall.
to
Had to
get
go, yeah, 2
get
years
to-
later.
Get to Basic Instinct.
Yeah. 4 years later.
To this move in Total Recall.
Exactly.
Don't you want to tie me up?
All right.
So I'm going Vanity.
That's perfect.
All
don't
right.
You don't even have to say it.
I do.
I
know.
I'm going with Sharon Stone.
Really?
Really?
Good for you.
I am. Look, Vanity is great, and I think she's better than everyone here gave her credit for, and she is a very attractive woman. But let's face it, in the words of Matt Lillard, Vanity is no Sharon Stone. Okay? All right. That means that Sharon Stone is going to win.
But if she farted in your car, would you open the windows? No.
Yes, I would open the windows.
Of course.
Yes. I'm like, I don't care if you're Sharon Stone. Stop farting in my
If
car.
it's that bad, I don't care who it is.
All right, guys, it's time to land the plane. We have to come down to our final rankings here. How we felt about it objectively, how we feel about it I guess how we feel about it objectively doesn't really make sense. What our objective rating is, and then how we feel about it is the subjective side of it, right? So we'll start here with Donnie Miles, and he says, Unending Ammo, Biff as a Cop, 80s Explosions, Kung Fu, Craig T, Predators, Dylan, and some of the worst music ever put on screen all combined to give us this attempt to make Carl Weathers the next action hero of the silver screen. I mean, it's right there in the title, you see. And while it didn't quite pull off the feat, it did give us some solid kick-ass action and one-liners. The overly comical Albert the Young Thief running gag was abysmal, but everything else was just what this podcast was made for. A bad movie that rules. From Donnie Miles. Well done there, Donnie. Dave, you've got your final thoughts here.
Okay. So this is going to come off like I'm mad because we didn't do Dead Heat. I just want to say that this has nothing to do with that. But that being said, I almost wanted to come up with a new rating for this of a bad movie that really wants to rule because this seems like that to me. Like, objectively, of course, it is a bad movie.
Yeah.
But I wanted it so much to be better than it was and more of the action Jackson movie to have more action in it. And then, like we talked about, how it gets to a point where it just comes off the rails and is, what's even happening now? Is this just this, the whole story and everything is just too hard to follow and I didn't care. So I hate it, but I'm going to have to say bad movie, full stop.
Full stop?
Yep, can't do it. I can't.
You didn't like
It was very close. That's why I said
you
it
didn't
was
like it.
It was a bad movie that wanted to rule,
Yeah.
and it didn't.
All right. That's fair enough, man. I think that's like 3 bad movie full stops in a row for you, I feel like. Well,
No,
maybe not.
I said bad movie that rules for Hard Target.
Did you for Hard
Yeah.
Target? That's right.
Yeah.
It was Airheads that you
Airheads.
bad
No,
movie.
bad movie.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for reminding. I don't want to put words in your mouth there.
No, that's all good.
Mike Harding comes in and says, "Look, this movie has everything you want in an '80s action movie: angry police captain, boobs, car chases indoors and outdoors, explosions, cheesy one-liners. Top it all off, Carl Weathers chasing down a cab on foot, then staring down the driver before flipping over the car." Rain Man, Beetlejuice, and Die Hard be damned. Action Jackson is the best movie of 1988. Just kidding, Ryan. But it does rule pretty.
That was good. That was good.
He roasts you again. Yeah. Bad movie that rules.
Awesome.
From Mike Harding. Madela.
I'm really mad at you guys
Why?
because I was blissfully unaware of how bad the script and the ending of this movie was until we sat down and talked. And I hate you guys so much.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's valid.
If you
points.
enjoyed it, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
sorry.
I was gonna call this a straight up good movie.
Oh, wow.
Because I enjoyed it that much, and like I knew it didn't make sense plot wise.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't care. It's so fun.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I feel
Ruined
like
it for him.
I feel like if I say it's a good movie, then it's like
No.
whatever. Like I want to call it a straight up good movie. I loved this movie. I
right.
thought it was everything I wanted to watch. I was so excited to watch. Like when I didn't know what I was walking into when I started it, and I was like, that was amazing.
I love that.
So
All right.
Perfect.
That's
Good
awesome.
movie.
So,
We've hit the
so
3
we
out of 4.
ruined it for you.
Yeah.
huh?
We've ruined Action Jackson. Okay, that's
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Valov says, another movie I grew up on as a kid. I was 10 or 11 when I first saw this, and it's been 20 years since I last saw it. I miss movies like this. I picked up on so much that I did not notice as a kid. The biggest thing is, if you were paying attention, the Invisible Men were Hans Gruber's heist crew. Also, various henchmen in Lethal Weapon 1 and 2. If they ever worked on a Joel Silver film, they were in this. I don't know. It just adds something to the film for me. Objectively, this is a good movie script. Doesn't suck. There is no problem with the pacing. The dialogue is catchy. And while it is a bit cliche, it works well. Subjectively, I love it. And in my opinion, it's a good movie, full stop. There
There
you
we
go,
go.
Madela.
All right.
You got somebody on
at
board
that.
with you here, Eric Valov and Ryan. Said, I had so much fun watching this again. I won't even hate on Bob. Hello, Bob. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I miss movies like man, truly, I do. Wow.
Eric, I'm sorry for saying you should go back to the bus stop.
Oh.
Oh,
Now
Make up.
that you guys are
Yeah.
in a foxhole together, so
Yes.
to speak. Okay.
I
brothers.
want to say that when this started, I was very excited because it starts off awesome.
It's a great intro.
Yeah, and
Gets
then
you pumped up.
as the movie goes on, I was just like, but I want action in this action movie, and it doesn't happen until the last 20 minutes. Okay,
Farrell?
it is, as Dave's saying, the movie's very front loaded with action, where you get that opening scene, the helicopters coming in, you hear the ninjas, the SWAT ninjas crash through the skyscraper. Great opening kill. They kill someone, the boat blows up. This all happens in the first 25 minutes. And this is like a 25 minutes that you can just watch because it's so cool. The cliched police stuff, call it cliched, but it works. It's hilarious. But man, it doesn't land the plane because by the end of the movie, it's going in 7 different directions and it's annoying because, like you said, I wanted something like this should, by all probability, be a bad movie that rules so hard with everything that it has. Like, look at this cover.
yeah.
Look at it. They don't make
Oh, yeah.
taglines like that anymore.
James Bond,
When
Carl
it's
Weathers.
like, name Jericho Jackson, nickname action. Like, they don't do that anymore.
No, I know.
But it's like a on the tip, a bad movie. But it just rules enough
All right.
to say, all right, it's a bad movie that rules based on Carl Weathers, who, yes, should have been a leading man, should have had more movies that we could sit down and talk about.
He made a couple more, and I'm sure we'll get to him at some point, but he never got to box office.
But just
lead these
anything.
movies, right?
Because, like, talk about Pacino and De Niro and Heat and their face off. Like,
Yeah.
man, if we had Carl Weathers going toe to toe with Schwarzenegger in a movie in like the early 90s or something, that would have been great.
Nope.
Mark Gussick said, this movie was actually kind of fun. I vaguely remember watching it when I was younger, but I can't be 100% sure. Nevertheless, it was a fun time, even with the Pontiac Fiero and the Lamborghini body kit driving up the stairs and just casually going through a house. How the frick is that even possible? The convoluted plot was silly, but no matter what, it was peak 80s Carl Weathers, man. Rest in peace. And just a cornucopia of 80s stars that I had no idea were in this. It was like Die Hard finished filming and they stole all those actors and brought them over. This movie is like when your dog decides to crap all over an NFL team rug, but just so happens that it was right on the Chiefs, so you're perfectly okay with it, and you give them a nice treat for crapping on that team logo. And all that said, it's a bad movie that rules a lot. So much fun, and I will watch this again. Mark the Goose Gussick. Love whenever you're here doing awards, man. Thank you, brother. And then Alan Brown comes in and says, this movie is definitely a nostalgic favorite of mine. It's absolutely a bad movie, but it rules so hard. I will continue to watch it now again. I still enjoy it as much as I did when it first came out. And the one disappointment I have is how they try to make a Fiero look like a Ferrari knockoff. So that's another bad movie that rules. That's the prevailing one. We've had a couple people go good and one person go bad. But look, the script is a mess, dude. It's one of the messiest, crappiest scripts that we've covered from a plotting standpoint. I don't think all of the dialogue is really that cringe. So the dialogue written pretty well, but the bones of the script, the outline of the plotting of what happens when and who goes where and moving the chess pieces around, so to speak, is just an absolute mess. It's not objectively good, in my opinion. I think It has plenty of going for it where I can easily say this is a bad movie that rules because I still had fun. I think it helps that I liked Vanity more probably than some other people did. Because if you really hate her, it's going to be really hard to enjoy this movie because she's in a lot of it. Musical numbers that were obviously contractually enforced aside. I love Carl, dude. And I don't know how I missed this back in the day. I never saw this back in the 80s.
Yeah.
They should have played it on HBO more. I don't know where the hell it was playing. The wrong movie channel had the rights to it because I never got to see it.
Yeah. I was shocked I missed it too.
Yeah. So it's one of those ones. I don't know how it slid by me, but I'm happy I got to see it for this. So firmly for me, a bad movie that rules.
Very good.
Yeah.
It's funny because the only reference I ever knew of this movie is when Robert Downey Jr. says in Tropic Thunder, Action Jackson can't cry. We be waiting until Chinese New Year waiting on my man to cry.
That's right.
And I was like, Action Jackson, like that sounds like it's a movie.
There you go.
Should I find it? Should I watch it?
And you did.
And here it is.
Here it is in Blu-ray form.
You did it.
You did it, man. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate that you were all here. And this is a long one. We're almost at 3 hours on Action Jackson.
Who knew?
Nuts.
Well, yeah, it is nuts. But
We
it felt
introduced
like
a new
it was
award.
fun. Yeah, we did that, and it's fine.
It didn't feel like it dragged on.
Not at all.
I was having fun.
So thank you guys and if you're still here listening 3 hours in, you guys are awesome. Thank you. If you haven't yet, join us on Patreon. We got the push going, patreon.com/badmoviesrule. Next week, you guys, it's time to go back. We got Joe and Jenna and Nicole here, and we are going back to revisit the Twilight Saga again.
Lauren's coming in for
Is she? Perfect.
the guest spot or
It's-
whatever, or the
Kids
Kids
table
table. It's
Yeah.
time for a new moon.
for New Moon.
Say it out loud. We're doing Twilight too.
Oh, and you get the werewolves now.
I'm now in dark territory. It's like Under Siege 2 here because I only ever saw the first one originally. I've now never seen any of the rest of them. So
You're in for a treat.
wait,
Gosh.
Pick a team.
can't I refuse.
Thanks. I did it.
Wait, so you're Switzerland?
I'm gonna try to be, but it's gonna be hard.
That's an Eclipse
So
reference.
we'll see. Thank you guys. Thank you, Dave.
Of course.
Thank you, Madeline and Farrell. I'm your host, James Hauser. We will catch you guys on the next one.
Can you kiss me, baby? Undress me.
You went so hard. That was perfect.
I had to.
Oh my gosh.
I will continue to make bad movie full stops. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
You're just gonna get that reputation of not liking anything.
Nope, I don't want it because that's not true. It's just, this wasn't Dead Heat. You know it wasn't Dead Heat. This is your fault. It should have been Dead Heat.
Well, now we're gonna do Dead Heat, and you're gonna hate that movie, and you're gonna be really sad.
No, now I'll be like, it's the best movie I've ever seen.
Can't wait for you to see Dead Heat.
It eats Action Jackson lunch.
Who was Sharon Stone in Alpha Dog?